mullet, right? And he was getting loved on by his Cubs girlfriend or wife, and she was wearing a Cubs jersey. And I'm like, there it is. There we are. You know, it's like to me, it's wonderful stuff. And the fact that this moment you get a Sox team that has genuinely turned a corner as an organization, and it's starting to show itself a little bit on the field. But as an organization, to me, it's an undeniable.
Celebra tú también con Betcris.
There's so much history right here, and when I put it on and it's so light, it just feels just right. It feels just right. I mean, look at this. It got the city on it. When I was 7 years old, my uncle takes me where? To Shea Stadium. Darryl Strawberry hits a home run, and I become a fan for life.
Chicago, and it just to
Eight-year drought that ended while we were here and covering, and it's still very much part of the DNA of the fan bases in this town to have withstood that and survived that and come through, and and both are hungry for more, and it's exciting when they're both good, of course, but even when just one is good, it gives this series some juice. I mean, Sox fans can be as vocal or blatant about it as they want, or choose not to be, complete too cool for school or not. But they want to beat the crap out of the Cubs this weekend.
And I'll tell you, of course they do. And it just, you know what? Thinking about this, basically my introduction of doing Sox coverage, the very first crosstown series. The second game of it was the A.J. Pierzynski, Michael Barrett thing.
Come on, man.
Okay? And I was like, this is the second game. And then we were doing the post-game show from Connie's Pizza, and then Bernie Mac called in. I called into the post-game show. That was awesome. Like, this is incredible. It is, and it's like, and people like that matter, and they care and they feel it. Yeah, I saw Brooks Boyer before the game, and he told me his part of a story, which I'll share tomorrow on Spiegel and Holmes, about something that happened. That's a tease. What is that, an 18-hour tease? I'm struggling with the math. Dude, 28-hour tease, I think. That tease is unbelievably long.
Thanks.
But I think it has staying power.
Thank you, buddy. But what he told me is
power tease.
He was saving tickets yesterday in the front row because you never know which big shooters are going to get in touch with him late, right? Yesterday was Chelios. Chelios said, got in touch, and he's like, all right, I got you. So, this is all the heavy hitters come out for Cubs Sox weekend, like Chris Ranji.
Well,
hit and run. That's what I'm saying.
That's right, man.
Did I tie the room together right there?
You really did, man. You know what? And I guess that's the best way to end this, isn't it?
I'm not gonna lie. I had that in mind because I got work to do for pregame and postgame.
Okay, go do your work. I don't want you to screw this up today.
Thank you.
This is a big day for you. Don't screw this up.
Yes, it is. I agree. Thank
Matt
you, Chris.
Spiegel, see you, buddy. Matt Spiegel's got pre- and post-game coverage for Zach, who's got play-by-play coverage for Pat Hughes. So it'll be Zach and Coombe on the call today. And Spiegel, his pre-game show is going to start in 15 minutes. So you be staying right here as the Cubs and Sox will wrap up the finale of this series from the rate. Love talking to Matt Spiegel. Want you to do this. Want you to be listening today because, later on today, coming up at 1:45, it is the Chicago Sky and Indiana Fever at the UC, and the broadcast on Odyssey Chicago. Layla Rahimi, Kylan Mills, Kate Constable, they're going to be on the air with the call starting at 1:45 on 105.9 FM HD2. You can also listen to that game on the Odyssey app. But we are getting you ready for baseball on the South Side today. Cubs and Sox, I'm Chris Ranji. Go ahead and text into the show. We'll have a little bit of time here, I think. Very, very little, but, maybe a minute or two. So if you got some thoughts, 312-644-6767. It is Hit and Run on the Score.
Bears training camp is ongoing at Hallis Hall with new leadership under Ben Johnson. The level of expectation has reached a new level.
Our guys, we got to end up executing, getting in and out of the huddle a certain way, and there's some things we just don't have any tolerance for anymore. We got too far to go.
If Jalen Johnson misses a month,
this is the kind of thing that can linger over the course of a year.
Why is there this ambiguity surrounding the injury to one of your best players?
I think Caleb Williams is the most divisive Bears quarterback in history.
Keep listening as the Score team covers every storyline as the Bears gear up for the 2025 season. Bears training camp coverage on the Score is presented by Chevy Drives Chicago and the #1 draft pick, Chevy Silverado, the official truck partner of the Chicago Bears.
This hour is brought to you by Vasectomy Clinics of Chicago, and this segment is brought to you by AlmostFreeTeeth.com. Save on dental implants today. You've seen the billboards, and the reality is you don't have to break the bank for dental implants. You have the medical PPO insurance. You can save, on average, 95% off. Check if you qualify at AlmostFreeTeeth.com.
Phil, it's a lost art.
What's lost?
Service.
Isn't there an app for that?
Exactly. There's too much tech, not enough people. I called my bank, nothing but tech. I stopped by. It's an empty room with an ATM. I had questions.
Ah, the big bank conundrum.
It is indeed.
Try Lakeside Bank. They have tech and people. It's the perfect balance of people and power.
Quite the art.
It is indeed.
The power of a big bank and the personal service of a little bank. That's Lakeside Bank. It's about time. Member FDIC and Equal Housing Lender.
This summer, enjoy all that Lake County, Illinois has to offer. Carousels and water slides, theaters and nostalgic drives, majestic lakes, amazing views. There really is so much to do. Waukegan fun and lakeside parks, festive concerts after dark, Grapparee's historic farms, dinosaurs and small town charms. For more amazing things to do next weekend, let the ride take you to visit lakecounty.org. Brought to you by Visit Lake County and Enjoy Illinois.
We take care of our customers every day through the big moments, the innovative upgrades, of course, the adventures too. The perfect vehicle is out there waiting to bring joy to your everyday journey. Customer satisfaction, strong warranties, and a wide selection of luxury and affordable vehicles is why car buyers trust us and keep coming back.
Taking care of you every day, that's the Patrick Promise.
My name is Kaylin, and I was just 15 months old when my dad, Officer Cedric Brumley, was critically injured responding to a call. He's been in a wheelchair ever since, but he's always been the strongest person I know. That strength shaped me, and so did the support from the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation. They gave me more than a scholarship. Thanks to the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation, I've been able to pursue my dream. I'm living proof of what that support can do. From Georgetown University to Tufts and now med school at Rush, the Chicago Police Memorial Foundation has provided over $4.2 million in education support to families like mine. And they're helping even more this year with $500,000 in new assistance. Help them continue this.
center, Profar sprints over. Oh, he lost it. He did not see that ball. He didn't even come close to it.
These interactions between De La Cruz and Tito Francona have been priceless. Come on, there. You got it there? Yes, indeed.
And the ball wasn't the only thing that landed in the basket.
What in the world happened out there to Jung-Hoo Lee?
That's wild. I mean, you don't see that in the big leagues.
Radio apps. You can stream the Cubs all season long, no matter where you are in Chicagoland.
Kyle drives one in the air to right field. That ball is gone.
Listen to Pat Hughes and Ron Coomer with all the action of Cubs baseball. Streaming live in Chicagoland on the free Odyssey app. AUDACY. Along with the iHeartRadio app. Take us with you and download the app today.
Phil, it's a lost art.
What's lost?
Service.
Isn't there an app for that?
Exactly. There's too much tech, not enough people. I called my bank, nothing but tech. I stopped by. It's an empty room with an ATM. I had questions.
Ah, the big bank conundrum.
It is indeed.
Try Lakeside Bank. They have tech and people. It's the perfect balance of people and power.
Quite the art.
It is indeed.
The power of a big bank and the personal service of a little bank. That's Lakeside Bank. It's about time. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
This summer, enjoy all that Lake County, Illinois has to offer. Carousels and water slides, theaters and nostalgic drives, majestic lakes, amazing views. There really is so much to do. Waukegan fun in lakeside parks, festive concerts after dark, Grapparee's historic farms, dinosaurs and small town charms. For more amazing things to do next weekend, let the ride take you to visit lakecounty.org. Brought to you by Visit Lake County and Enjoy Illinois.
We take care of our customers every day through the big moments, the innovative upgrades, of course, the adventures too. The perfect vehicle is out there waiting to bring joy to your everyday journey. Customer satisfaction, strong warranties, and a wide selection of luxury and affordable vehicles is why car buyers trust us and keep coming back.
Taking care of you every day. That's the Patrick Promise.
Oh, this Bosch miter saw really is smooth.
Feeling smooth.
Who said that?
It's your inner Bosch, baby. I'm that scoobity-bebop smooth feeling you get when you make smooth cuts with that moobity-mibbity-mibbity-mubbity miter saw.
So I'll just keep ski-bop sawing then?
Now you're getting it. Beep-bop-beep-bop, miter saw is my favorite.
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a
Bosch.
I'm Piera Palazzolo, VP of Digital Marketing for the American Management Association, a company focused on the management training skills needed to enhance the careers of business professionals. We did our research when it came to the best companies for website development and chose AmericanEagle.com. And we couldn't be happier. AmericanEagle.com worked closely with us to understand the front and back end requirements needed to launch an e-commerce website that could handle the complexities of running thousands of seminars nationwide. Our robust new website and improved SEO saw immediate increases in site traffic and web revenue. If you're in need of managerial effectiveness and success, visit our website at amanet.org. If you're in need of a website that provides an unparalleled consumer experience, I highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Transform your business today. Dial 877-WebNow1 for a free digital consultation with AmericanEagle.com.
So the Donahos invited us to dinner.
Hang on, honey. Hello?
Hi, this is Lori from First American Bank.
Whoa, honey, it's the bank. Listen to how real this AI voice sounds.
Hello?
Yes, hello. I'm calling about your First American Bank home equity line of credit application.
That is freaky.
Right? What do I press for representative?
Oh, you don't press anything. I'm a real person.
Now it's claiming to be a real person.
Wow.
Sir, along with First American Bank's best loan deals in town, we pride ourselves on providing impeccable personal service. That's why you get me, a real-life specialist, to help you every step of the way with your loan. Isn't that more useful than passing you off to an artificial intelligence chatbot?
What's 2 times 2?
4.
Who created the Dewey Decimal System?
Melville Dewey.
Deep dish or thin crust?
Oh, you're not dragging me into that one.
First American Bank, the bank that does more for your money. Visit firstambank.com or call us at 847-952-3700. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
At U.S. Waterproofing, we're not only experts at sealing leaks, we're a complete solution to keep your basement dry. From replacing ineffective gutters and downspouts to raising settled concrete. Schedule your free consultation today at uswaterproofing.com. U.S. Waterproofing. A better basement starts with us.
And now, Odyssey, WSCR, 670 The Score, and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network exclusively present the Cubs Radio pregame show, driven by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Buick and GMC dealers. Brought to you in part by CatchDesMoines.com, Citgo, Chef IQ Sense, Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha, Fitzgerald Equipment, Patriot Pavement Maintenance, TimberTech Decking and Railing, Bet365, The Village of Bedford Park, and McGrath Acura of Westmont. And now your host, Zach Zaidman.
It is a hot and muggy Sunday for what should be another high-energy day at a packed ballpark on Chicago's South Side for the finale of the Cubs and the White Sox Crosstown Series. Good afternoon, everyone. Matt Spiegel here for Zach Zaidman, who will have the call for you when first pitch comes around, along with Ron Coomer. Last night, the Cubs offense found its footing in the 7th inning of a scoreless game and pulled ahead eventually in the all-time series between these two teams with their 76th win of 151 games, while the Sox have 75. As we bring in Ron Coomer for a conversation sponsored by Yingling Traditional Lager, the oldest brewery in America, and by Hatfield Better Care, Better Pork. Coom, great to see you. Great to be here. Felt like a big win last night as I was listening to you and Zach.
Yeah, great to have you here too, Matty. And, you know, it's when we get to this point of the season that, you know, every game is important, every series is big, and, you know, and then you add Cubs Sox, and, you know, and almost 40,000 people have been here both nights, and that's a big deal, especially for the White Sox. They've had their struggles a little bit here lately, but a packed house, and, you know, the fans are into it. But, boy, you're exactly right. Horton came up huge, and a big swing of the bat by Ian Happ and Matt Shaw in the 7th, you know, really kind of, you know, it helped the offense kind of get back on track.
As we look to the keys to this game, sponsored by Heat and Frost Insulators and the Illinois Regional Insulation Contractors, visit local17insulators.com. And by Toyota, visit your Chicagoland Toyota dealer or go to toyota.com today. You mentioned it, Cade Horton, terrific last night. Today is a day where Ben Brown, not as a bulk guy in the middle of the game, but as a starter right off the bat, hopefully can be the best version of himself.
I couldn't agree more. And here's the thing that's interesting to me. We're going to see Ben Brown not be the second guy in, knowing that it's a bullpen game. He has been a starting pitcher. So some guys, and whether you're a position player or pitcher, are very routine-oriented. So is that the case for Brownie, and is this going to be better for him, getting his normal routine pregame, getting into the start and taking the mound first? I hope that's the case for
I went to college at Northeastern University, and all my friends were Red Sox fans, and while in my 3 years there, I really grew to appreciate Red Sox Nation and everything that they bring to the table, and once I got my head wrapped around the trade, I was really, really excited. I think they have one of the most iconic logos, these two Sox right here on the sleeve. I love keeping it simple, really fond of the font, and I think it's a really cool look.
I'm going to throw out a restaurant kitchen term to you, and then hit me with the baseball one. I'll start first.
Okay.
Mise en place.
Oh, mise en place. That is, as the chef, you put all your different ingredients out, kind of before you start cooking, right?
You got it, man. Yeah. That's the most important
That's a tough one. I hear this one a lot because of my name, Can of Corn.
Easy fly ball.
own Tony Gwynn drop I did with his estate. So we just signed a deal at therealist.com to actually go through his entire archives, present them, and auction them off. And to announce it, we did this limited edition 1994 The Lost Season card. Because, between August of 93 and May of 95, Tony Gwynn batted .406 in 162 games. So in the back, we have the stats of what could have been.
Get ready to reward future you with a future flight. Sign up for Rapid Rewards today and redeem your points on any seat, any day, anytime. Only at Southwest. All Rapid Rewards rules and regulations apply and can be found at southwest.com/RR terms.
As the official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs, Sloan has greeted fans with sustainable restroom products at Wrigley Field for 111 years. And now Sloan is excited to introduce new innovation to Cubs fans throughout the concourse with its brand new bottle fillers to provide clean drinking water while reducing plastic waste throughout the friendly confines. Learn more at Sloan.com and go Cubs go!
The clearance event is going on now at American Sale. Save up to 70% on pools, patio sets, and more. The clearance event, only at American Sale. Bring the fun home.
The Cubs radio pregame show, driven by your Chicagoland, Northwest Indiana Buick and GMC dealers, is underway. I'm Matt Spiegel, reminding you that all Cubs triples and saves are sponsored by Great Lakes Credit Union. Chicago's credit union. Join GLCU's mission of banking for greater good at glcu.org. Games of consequence with postseason standings in the balance. They keep coming every day for the Cubs right now, and our Bruce Levine knows very well what it takes for a team to withstand the relentless length of 162 games.
Well, you're right about that, Matt. The Cubs' record since June 1st has them 4 games over the 500 mark. Cub fans and pundits have expected a super team with a 10-game lead going into August. Instead, the Northsiders are in a dogfight with the Brewers for the division lead. Veteran shortstop Dansby Swanson gives you the team perspective of the Cubs after 104 games.
There's a lot of failure associated with this game, obviously, and I think teams can go through stretches where things aren't as perfect or as good as what they could be, and I know that we played some unbelievable baseball for a large portion of this season, and you just survive the moments where things aren't fully clicking as a group. That's the beauty of a team and playing a team game, because you get to continue coming to the field and trying to achieve something great together.
Swanson, a part of the 2021 Braves World Series champions, understands the ebbs and flows of 162 games. Matt, the Cubs must prove that they can survive a big-time challenge by Milwaukee and the rigors of an extremely hot summer. Conquering the baseball season is not for the weak-minded.
No, it is not, Bruce, and the Cubs get those Brewers in Milwaukee starting tomorrow. The Cubs, though, take on the Orioles in a 3-game series starting Friday, August 1st. First, be here for it. Get your tickets at Cubs.com/tickets. And the Cubs, The Score, and Stand Up to Cancer are once again teaming up for the 24-hour Cubs for a Cure Radiothon. It starts at 10 a.m. this Thursday on 670 The Score. 100% of the proceeds will benefit Brain Up for cancer research. The young third baseman has found his stroke. That's coming up next right here on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Cubs fans, Pete Crow Armstrong here. Pat and Ron call every game on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Oh, this Bosch miter saw really is smooth.
Feeling smooth.
Who said that?
It's your inner Bosch, baby. I'm that scoobity-bebop smooth feeling you get when you make smooth cuts with that moobity-mibbity-mibbity-mubbity miter saw.
So I'll just keep ski-bop sawing then?
Now you're getting it. Beep-bop, beat-up, wow, miter saw is my favorite.
The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch. There's no one way to get the Chicago sports talk you crave from 670 The Score.
You can always listen to The Score on the radio at 670 a.m.
What are we doing? We're a radio station.
Take us anywhere you go with the free Odyssey and iHeartRadio apps.
Because your girl over here is a fan.
This is great. Watch Mully and Haw, Rahimi and Harris, and Spiegel and Holmes all day on YouTube and Twitch.
Plus, catch Mully and Haw on CHSN from 7 to 9 a.m.
670 The Score is Chicago's #1 sports station. Listen and watch your way today. today.
Hi, Zoe Saldana. Welcome to T-Mobile. Here's your new iPhone 16 Pro on us.
Thanks. And here's my old phone to trade in.
You don't need a trade-in. When you switch to T-Mobile, we'll give you a new iPhone 16 Pro. Plus, we'll help you pay off your old phone up to $800, and you still get to keep it.
There's always a trade-in.
Not right now at T-Mobile.
I feel like I have to give you something in return for karma.
That's okay.
I don't really have much in my purse. Oh, let's see. Hand sanitizer. It's lavender.
I'm good. Seriously.
Let me check this pocket. Oh, mints?
Really, I'm fine.
Oh, I have raisins. I'm a mom. Wait 1 sec. I've got cupcakes in the car.
It's our best iPhone offer ever. Switch to T-Mobile. Get a new iPhone 16 Pro with Apple Intelligence on us. No trade-in needed. We'll even pay off your phone up to $800.
With 24 monthly bill credits, new line, $100 plus a month on experience beyond finance agreement, $999.99 and qualifying forwarded. For well qualified plus tax and $10 connection charge. Pay off via virtual prepaid card below 15 days. Credits end and balance due if you pay off early or cancel. See T-Mobile.com.
Surround yourself in color with Regal Select from Benjamin Moore. Rich, durable, and effortlessly beautiful. Find yours at your locally owned retailer. Visit BenjaminMoore.com today.
Welcome back into the Cubs Radio pregame show, driven by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Buick and GMC dealers. Taking a look at who's hot and who's cold is sponsored by Plumbers 911. Plumbing emergency? Call the professionals, available 24/7 at 1-833-PLUM-911. Matt Shaw is red hot for the Cubs. 11 for 23 since the All-Star break, with 4 homers, 9 RBIs, 3 stolen bases, 6 runs scored. Seiya Suzuki, in his last 7 ball games, is just 2 for 25 with an on-base percentage of just 179. He has hit the ball hard a few times, though, as he usually does, so maybe that luck will change today. Today's Tito's Handmade Vodka Canine of the game is Anne, a 14-year-old golden retriever. If the team strikes out 9 players, Tito's will make a $100 donation to Anti-Cruelty Chicago. And the injury report is sponsored by Illinois Bone and Joint Institute. Visit IBJI.com for locations and services as trade rumors swirl. Many eyes within the Cubs are on Javier Assad and Jamison Tyone, who are both working their way back toward potential returns in the middle of August. Tyone threw a bullpen on Friday. He will throw another midweek. Assad is making a rehab start on Wednesday for AAA Iowa. Approaching first pitch for the last Cubs and Sox game on the season. A very important young hitter is swinging it well for the Cubs right now, and one of the trusted vets of the team absolutely loves it. That's next on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Every strikeout and home run is heard right here on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey folks, Coom here. Since teaming up with the fine folks at Yuengling Beer, I've heard this question a lot. Ron, how has Yuengling managed to be around for 196 years? Well, it comes down to one thing. They brew great beer. Simple as that. It takes real quality to become the oldest brewery in America, and Yuengling's been doing it right since 1829. Whether it's traditional lager, light lager, Flight by Yuengling, they all have the same commitment to flavor and craftsmanship. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America. Official beer of the Cubs Radio Network, DG Yuengling & Sons, Pottsville, PA.
Welcome to Old National Bank.
Hi, I was wondering what you could do for my small business.
Tons. Have time to talk?
Not much. We're on a 30-second radio ad.
Oh, I'll get straight to the point then. Our solutions are customized for small businesses. Our services make financial management simple, and our pricing is always transparent.
Outstanding. Wow.
Yeah. So, ever been in an ad before?
Nope. How do I look?
Good. But we're on the radio, remember?
Right. Hi, Mom.
Customized small business banking from Old National Bank. Member FDIC. Get old.
The Chef IQ Sense is a wireless cooking thermometer everyone should have. It eliminates under or overcooking your chicken, fish, or meat to achieve perfection. Order one now on chefiq.com. That's chefiq.com.
A sunny and muggy day on the south side here on the Cubs Radio pregame show, driven by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana Buick and GMC dealers. The Cubs strongly encourage the use of all public transportation, especially CTA buses and trains, when traveling to Wrigley Field. For all games, the Cubs offer a free bike valet service located by the Addison Red Line station. For details, visit Cubs.com/transportation. Nico Horner knows what it's like to be a rookie, dying to fit in and bring value to a team contending for a playoff spot.
Supply in Apple. Where do the Cubs shop to celebrate a big win? Binny's Beverage Depot. Binny's is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
Hey, Jeff, looks like your business is really booming, even in a tough time for businesses like ours. Hey, Mike,
Yeah, thanks to LendSeek, our business was able to take care of some outstanding bills and taxes and to purchase inventory and expand our product lines.
Wow. You know, my business needs working capital, but only from a reputable company that I can trust and count on. How does LendSeek work?
Fast and easy. Just apply at lendseek.com. Their AI lending platform gave my business access to over 100 funding programs with one simple application. And it costs nothing to apply.
At lendseek.com, you can receive business funding with no collateral, no prepayment penalties, and no restrictions on how you use the funds. Whatever your
Yeah, mine was a tops now as well. I hit my first walk-off last year against the Mets.
Jacob Young, Nationals win! Now he's got his first walk-off big league hit.
Dad had bought a stack of them. And I was like, I think we can get these results, but he went ahead and bought a stack for himself.
Like business cards. There you go.
But it was awesome just to, have that moment and have everyone so excited to, have a picture of you is a fun moment.
I'm going to throw out a restaurant kitchen term to you, and then hit me with the baseball one. I'll start first.
Okay.
Mise en place.
Oh, mise en place. That is, as the chef, you put all your different ingredients out kind of before you start cooking, right?
You got it, man. Yeah. That's the most important
That's a tough one. I hear this one a lot because of my name, can of corn.
Easy fly ball.
Experience of Ziegler Subaru of Kenosha. This will be Ben Brown's 18th game, his 15th start for the Cubs. He's 4-7 with a 6.48 ERA, has struck out 95 and walked 27 in just over 83 innings of work. For Grant Taylor of the White Sox, a tremendous arm. It has been used mostly in the back end of the Sox bullpen. He's appeared in 15 games. This will be his second start, really as an opener. He's struck out 23, walked 6, given up 15 hits in just over 18 innings of work. As we look around baseball at the scoreboard, sponsored by Great Clips, it's going to be great. Starting right around the same time as we do, it'll be the Marlins and Yuri Perez in Milwaukee against Brandon Woodruff and the Brewers. The Cardinals host the Padres as well, and the Reds host the Rays. Coming up, an anthem and a ball game right here on The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey Cubs fans, it's Michael Bush. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Let's play ball with Tito's. During today's game, if the Northsiders pitchers strike out 9 players, Tito's Handmade Vodka will donate $100 to Anti-Cruelty Chicago.
Ron Coomer here for TimberTech Decks. I've owned TimberTech Decks for many, many years. It still looks brand new, season after season, party after party. The summer months, outdoors is where we like to enjoy having company, and the TimberTech Decks have been incredible. The #1 premium composite decking brand. It looks like natural wood, but without all the costly maintenance that goes into it, you do not have to do that with TimberTech. Order free samples at TimberTech.com.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery. so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRANGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Back to school is on the brain. That means new notebooks, pencils, new everything. And while the kids are getting ready to get book smart, it's time for you to save smart with Straight Talk Wireless.
We wanted to introduce something new. And then working in some of our past and what the past can look like in the future. I think our players absolutely love it, and our fans, we think they'll learn to love it, especially if you can win in it. You know, that kind of solves everything.
All right, I got a couple packs of 1986 Topps baseball cards. Let's open them up and see who's in here. I love the bubble gum. Oh my. Tom Seaver, but with a White Sox uniform on.
Accident, call DNW right now. Slip and fall, call DNW right now. Any accident at all, call DNW Law right now. Don't hesitate. Call the 8s, 312-888-8888.
It is game time, and it is definitely time to crack open a Yuengling here at Wright Field. After 196 years, the wait is over. Yuengling finally available here in Illinois. Look for it at your favorite bar or store. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America, and it is a hot, humid, sunny day. Just what you're looking for. Cubs Sox here on the south side of the city. And the Cubs, they need another W is what they need, and it's going to be a fun and energetic crowd here again on the south side.
Yeah, the rubber game here, the south side edition of the Crosstown Series. Cubs swept the north side edition at Wrigley Field earlier this season. They've already taken the 2025 Crosstown Series overall with their win last night, but they're looking to leave the south side with a series victory today. And you are right, it is an extremely hot afternoon here at Wright Field. Right now, partly cloudy, 84 degrees, but with the humidity, it feels much warmer than that. The game time temperature sponsored by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric, your trusted local experts. So it's a bullpen game, Coom for the White Sox. Right-hander Grant Taylor, 23 years old, will be the opener for the Sox, and then fellow right-hander Sean Burke is expected to pitch the majority of the game out of the pen.
Well, the one thing you got with Taylor starting the game, he's got some saves. He's been a guy that they've used late in the ball game. Big arm. When you're talking about guys, these young guys rushing it up there close to 100 miles an hour, and he's got a good hook. So that's going to be the thing that we will see today for all the young guys that pitch in this series. You know, you got 40,000 people, or somewhere right around there in these ballparks. Whether you're playing at Wrigley or Wright Field. It's just fun, and they're getting a dose of it today, both Ben Brown and Taylor.
The Cubs leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. If Michael Bush gets a hit, Binny's Beverage Depot will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Bush steps to the plate, hitting at .279 on the year. He's got 20 home runs and 60 RBIs. The right-hander Taylor faces home plate. Working on the first base side of the rubber. Bush digs in, left-handed batter. Taylor rocks back and deals. First pitch on the way, in there for a strike. And we are officially underway, the rubber match between the Cubs and Sox here on the south side at Wright Field. Taylor kicks and fires, and Bush takes strike two. A fastball clocked at 99 miles per hour right down the middle. Taylor, 23 years old, 6'3", 230 pounds, a native of Alabama, played his college ball at LSU. Here comes the 0-2. That's low and outside, missed with another heater. That one clocked at 100 miles per hour. 1 ball and 2 strikes, the count on Bush. Here's the pitch. Called strike 3. A hard curveball that spun in the zone. 1 away.
Well, that's the thing about Taylor. He's rushing it up there, in that triple-digit area, and then he throws his breaking ball. That hook that he throws gets on top of it, and I mean it's a turbo curveball, and it comes downhill hard, and it comes back down to the strike zone, and he gets the first punch out.
Kyle Tucker at the plate, and he looks at a ball low, 1-0. That was that turbo curveball that you talked about.
Yeah, it's a hard one. He throws it close to 90 miles an hour, and he gets good downward movement with it.
Here comes the pitch. And that one's outside. 2-0 the count on Tucker. Tucker on the year hitting at .274. He's got 18 home runs, 58 RBIs. Powerful left-handed hitter. The right-hander Taylor deals. Tucker swings and pops it foul out of play off to the left. 2-1 the count. The home plate umpire today is the crew chief, Vic Carapazza. Brian Walsh at first. Mark Rippercher manning second. And the third base umpire is Nick Marley. Taylor kicks and delivers. Tucker swings and lines one in a deep right center field. It'll drop in and one hop the wall. Tucker on his way to second base. A stand-up double with 1 away here in the first.
A nice swing by Tuck as he gets a heater in the middle of the plate. And I don't care how hard you throw, big league hitters, especially the good ones, boy, if they know you're getting a heater and they're looking for it, you don't make a good pitch with it, it can get whistled right into the gap, and that's exactly what Tuck did with that fastball.
So here comes Seiya Suzuki, the Cubs' designated hitter with a man in scoring position. Tucker at second after the double. 1 down, top of the first. No score, Cubs and Sox. Taylor looks at second and deals. Inside to Suzuki, 1-0. Blazing fastball at 98 miles per hour. Defensively for the White Sox, Miguel Vargas at first. Lenin Sosa playing second. The shortstop is Chase Mydroth. And Colson Montgomery at third. Taylor works his motion. Suzuki looks at a ball low. It's now 2-0. In the outfield from left to right for the White Sox, Andrew Benintendi, Brooks Baldwin, and Mike Tauchman. Edgar Quero is the catcher. And the opener, Grant Taylor, the right-hander on the mound, sets at the belt. Looks at second. That's where Tucker is. And here comes the 2-0. Seiya fouls it back off the screen. 2-1.
Seiya got a high fastball on that last pitch and put a good swing on it. He's on time. He just fouled it straight back.
Seiya with 26 home runs this season to go along with 81 RBIs, hitting .254. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Curveball. 2-2.
Took a little more off that breaking ball. It almost seems like he adds and subtracts with the curve. Gets on top of it. It has somewhat of the same movement, but the velocity changes a little bit.
Taylor deals low, and Seiya's worked a full count. 1 down, top 1 just underway here at Wright Field. A rubber game between the Cubs and White Sox. Tucker at second base. Suzuki waits. The payoff pitch is low, ball 4. Taylor missed with a curve. And now the Cubs mounting something early. Men at first and second with just 1 away. And cleanup man Pete Crow Armstrong due up.
Pete's had a couple good swings in this series, but yesterday's last at bat to me was the best. He had hooked some balls foul, pulling the trigger maybe a little early, a little pumped up, in this series, and you can understand why. But yesterday, that last at bat, he was able to slow things down and then hit a rocket to right field. So we'll see if that has some carryover effect for him today with confidence with the bat in his hand.
Taylor deals. Crow Armstrong swings. A bouncing ball past third. It's fair. Rolling into foul territory. Around third. Coming home. Tucker on his way around third. Following him is Suzuki. PCA stops at second. A 2-run double for Pete Crow Armstrong. The Cubs strike first. They lead 2-0 here in the first.
Now, this is what I don't know if this is the confidence part that I was talking about. It's going to work. And it's going to work really well for the Cubs, but this is an inside pitch that jams the heck out of Pete, and it just goes rolling down the third base line, and there's nothing you can do. Montgomery's watching it. It just stays inside the bag and then just goes to the warning track on the side of the ballpark here in foul territory, and it ends up being a 2-run double. And, it's not the prettiest 2-run double you'll ever hit, but boy, is it effective.
It's beautiful on the scoreboard, right? The batter, Carson Kelly, with PCA at second. The pitch, swing and a foul. First deck off to the right. That was a sizzler, and you could hear by the reaction of the crowd that you had to duck out of the way of that one. Hopefully everyone's okay behind the Cubs dugout there along the right field line. Now the pitch, swing and a miss.
High gas there, 99 miles an hour at the top of the zone.
The RBIs by Crow Armstrong. A reminder that RBIs by Cubs batters are sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Get old. 2-0 Cubs. Just one away here in the top of the first with PCA at second base. Kelly waits for the 0-2. Here it comes. A swing and a miss, strike three, as Taylor gets him with a rising fastball. 2 away.
Yeah, back-to-back heaters at the top of the zone. Carson unable to get the head of the bat up to that pitch. First inning is powered by Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco Distributors Incorporated.
So here is Ian Happ, who had 2 hits last night, including the go-ahead home run in the 7th inning. Switch hitter batting from the left side. A long set by Taylor. And now time called by Happ. You often talk about this, that sometimes pitchers try to ice a hitter at the plate where you get a little too tense.
Yeah, if they can, there's some guys, especially some veteran guys, that will work the pitch clock to their advantage and have the hitter hold his position for quite a while.
Happ swings and misses at a 97-mile-per-hour heater, 0-1.
You can have a guy standing at home plate with his hands up above his shoulders, in that set position, and you can have him stand there for 5 seconds. That creates tension in your shoulders. It just makes you not swing as well.
Happ takes strike 2. Fastball, 99 miles per hour. Bottom of the zone.
I'm really surprised it doesn't happen more.
Crow Armstrong goes. Taylor still has the ball in his glove.
Well, once it got to 2 strikes, it's one of those plays, but Montgomery then moves over to the hole, and, Pete just recognizes it, just takes off for third.
Now Ian Happ hits a high fly ball to left, angling toward the corner. Benintendi, it's playable, and he makes the catch for out number 3. But the Cubs strike first. The 2-run double by Pete Crow Armstrong give him 76 RBIs on the year now. Cubs leading the White Sox 2-0 as we head to the last of the...
Let's open this up. Take a look at what we find. Looks like we've got Lauren Shahadi.
Animation is great.
We got Robert Flores, one of the stars of MLB Central, with Lauren Shahadi. Then we got Mark DeRosa. Look at that. He looks like Superman, does he not?
Right? He was when he was with the Cubs.
Harold Reynolds looking ripped in a tracksuit in Studio 42. There I am. The hair's all
I know this guy.
Look at that jawline.
Talk to me.
This is called a Crawford dog. Hamburger bun.
Yes.
2 split top Angus beef hot dogs griddled on the skillet, on the plancha.
Amazing.
And then we do a bacon onion jam with Crawford Bach beer.
Pick it up like a burger.
Pick it up like a burger and you just go in, man.
Let's go to town. Dude. Oh, best hot dog I've ever had. Best hot dog I've ever had. I love this, man.
This is how I grew up eating hot dogs.
Beer drinker. So whether you're firing up the grill, watching a game, or at the golf course, there's a Yuengling that fits the moment. Take a look at the lineup next time you're out. You might just find a new favorite. Yuengling, the oldest brewery in America, official beer of the Cubs Radio Network, DG Yuengling & Sons, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Crush concrete with a Bosch 18-volt Bulldog rotary hammer. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch.
2-0 Cubs as we get set for the bottom of the first inning here at Rate Field on the south side. Mike Tauchman will lead things off for the White Sox against right-hander Ben Brown, who works his motion and deals. First pitch, high and outside, ball 1. Brown on the year, 4-7 with a 6.48 ERA in 17 games. Here's the pitch. Tauchman takes ball 2 up high. Brownie's had an up-and-down year. His last start, a rough one, Monday against Kansas City. He was the bulk reliever in that game. Here's the pitch. Tauchman looks at a strike, a fastball right down the middle. So 2-1 the count. Brown gave up 7 runs, 6 of them earned on 7 hits in 4 innings out of the pen in that game against the Royals. The pitch outside, 3-1.
And I think for Brownie today, it's all about getting into a groove here early and getting command of his fastball and just being able to harness his heater.
Tauchman fouls one back just to the left of us, 3-2.
And if he can do that, then good things happen. It's when he pitches behind in the count a lot, and then, you know, as a hitter, then you're looking mainly for the fastball because you're just really, you know, he's got to come with it. And, you know, then you start throwing the ball to the middle of the plate because you're behind, and, you know, that's not a good recipe for success. So today you hope that he can pitch ahead.
Tauchman lines one foul off to the left.
Yeah, you just hope he can pitch ahead in the count and really have good command of the fastball. If he does, with his stuff, because he's got a great arm, good things happen.
Tauchman with 2 home runs in the series against his former team, the Cubs. Left-handed batter. Brown deals. A swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with a slow-moving breaking ball. 1 away.
It's a good hook, you know, and it's a hard one. It's, you know, he's got a great fastball that you got to be accountable for that if he's throwing it for strikes. You know, he's in the mid to high 90s at that fastball. Speed Gun today is always powered by Xfinity. It's seriously powerful Wi-Fi. Xfinity, the Wi-Fi is booming. Good start for Brownie getting the first punch out.
Chase Mydroth at the plate. The White Sox shortstop looks at a strike, a fastball near the top of the zone, straight down the middle. Brown working on the first base side of the rubber. The 6-6 pitcher deals, and that pitch is popped up on the infield. Left side, Swanson, the shortstop, on the dirt, makes the catch. 2 away.
Another high gas, and that works out. He just gets a routine pop-up. And I think for young guys, when they've had some ups and downs this season, and it has nothing to do with their ability or talent. You know, it's just being a young player in our league. This league is not easy to play in, and, you know, everything gets so magnified. But confidence is such a big play for these younger players, and Brownie being one of those. If he gets on a roll here early, we've seen it. He can dominate. I don't care what lineup it is. He can dominate them.
Andrew Benintendi in the box. Left-handed batter against the right-hander Brown. Here's the pitch. He swings, hits one in the air. Deep right, going back. Tucker at the track near the wall. Looks up. It's gone. White Sox get on the board. Solo shot by Andrew Benintendi. It's now 2-1 Cubs here in the bottom of the first.
Oh, Benintendi, you know, the scouting report against Brownie is going to be, look, fastball. You know, and he had command issues, and he threw a lot of balls in the middle of the plate last start. And this is just a fastball, center cut, belt high, right down the middle, and Benintendi was not going to wait. He was on that first pitch heater, and he whistles it into the Cubs bullpen.
A 368-foot drive for Benintendi. Miguel Vargas at the plate, and he looks at a curveball for a strike, 0-1. Benintendi now with 12 home runs on the year, 39 RBIs. 2-1 Cubs over the Sox. 2 away in the last of the first as Vargas waves at a curveball, 0-2. Cubs wearing their gray road uniform. Jerseys and pants. Blue lettering on the front, red numerals on the back as Brown delivers. Vargas chops one to short, fielded knee-high by Swanson. Running throw to first is in time to get Vargas, and that is out number 3. Both teams score in the first. Cubs with a 2-1 lead over the Sox. On the Score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
This is your home for every pitch of Cubs baseball. We are the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Left center, Profar sprints over. Oh, he lost it. He did not see that ball. He didn't even come close to it.
These interactions between De La Cruz and Tito Francona have been priceless. Come on, man. You got it there? Yes, indeed.
And the ball wasn't the only thing that landed in the basket.
What in the world happened out there to Jung-Hoo Lee?
That's wild. I mean, you don't see that in the big leagues.
And you're just too stylish to have superstitions.
Zero. I can't do it. Too many colored cleats, too many gloves, too many webbing gloves, too many bats.
I do put on my right glove first, then the left, then the thumb guard, then I put on my leg guard, my elbow guard.
Anything you put on first?
Nah, not really.
Nothing?
Nah. I like to say I'm not superstitious, but a little stitious.
It is a 1933 Gaudi Babe Ruth card. It is 8.5 PSA. It's graded higher than the one in the Smithsonian.
This card at one point came with a pack or a stick of chewing gum.
This card actually is almost a century old. It was bought for a penny.
So the fact that just the heritage of a card like this is now coming up almost 90 years later into an auction, it's a pretty special moment.
South Side is brought to you by Sea Glass Wines, delivering crisp, refreshing flavors that hit every time. Zach Zabin and Ron Coomer, here you go.
Great to have Matt Spiegel along today, helping us out. Pat's fine, by the way. He'll rejoin us tomorrow night when the Cubs begin a 3-game set in Milwaukee against the Brewers. A National League Central showdown. We're in the top of the second here. 2-1 Cubs over the Sox, and in this bullpen affair for the White Sox, they've got their new man on the mound, Sean Burke, 25-year-old right-hander. He's the bulk reliever, taking over for the opener, Grant Taylor. Burke faces home plate. First batter, Dansby Swanson. Here's the pitch, up high. 1-0 the count.
Looking at Burke, he is somewhat of a conventional guy, in today's game, too. Likes to pitch up in the zone. It's fastball. 93, 94, might get up to 95. That was a slider. Fastball, curveball, slider change, basically. But really, the slider-curveball combination, pretty good. He likes to use both of them.
1-1 the count. Swanson waits. The pitch. Foul back out of play.
Yeah, and even though he throws a four-seamer mainly with his arm angle where he comes from, it's not really three-quarter, but that arm action that he has, he's going to get good run on that four-seam fastball.
1-2 the count on Swanson. Pitching changes by Cubs opponents, sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Visit sloan.com. Burke kicks and delivers. And that pitch outside a check swing by Swanson on appeal. Brian Walsh, the first base umpire, says no swing. Count 2-2. Burke 4-8 this season in 20 games with a 4.19 ERA. He last pitched Monday in Tampa Bay. The pitch. Called strike 3. Front door curveball that was at the top of the zone along the inside edge. Swanson's retired, 1 away.
Ball, Dansby gives up on it. It's a high curveball, and it starts out going straight uphill, and then the bite on it coming down, it lands in the top of the zone. Dansby had given up on it, and it hit the top of the strike zone.
Now the batter, Nico Horner, the pitch. He is low and outside, 1-0 the count. Cubs 2, White Sox 1, 1 down, top of the second here. The finale of the 2025 Crosstown Series. Burke spins and deals. And Nico takes a strike. Fastball right down the middle. 1-1 the count. In that game Monday in Tampa Bay, Burke 200 runs allowed in 4 innings of work. The pitch outside, 2-1. As I mentioned earlier, the Cubs wearing the gray jerseys, gray pants, red numerals on the back, blue lettering on the front, blue batting helmets. The pitch. Nico swings and misses. And a slider. So it's 2-2. Nico wearing white shoes to go along with his blue socks. The White Sox in their home whites, black pinstripes, black lettering and numerals on the front and back, black caps. Burke wearing black shoes. The pitch. Nico fouls it back off the screen. 2-2 the count. The uniform descriptions are sponsored by Benjamin Moore. On the field or walls of your home, the right team and colors make all the difference. Official paint of the Chicago Cubs, Benjamin Moore. The 2-2. Nico fouls it out of play off to the right.
Nico, first pitch swinging, first pitch, he's looking to hit one out of here. He got an inside pitch, fouled it back, and now kind of back to the normal stroke.
The next pitch is bounced foul off to the left. Count remains 2-2. Good battle going on here between these two, Horner and Burke.
Nico and Dansby, a nice ball game. Along with Shaw defensively, Cubs got a couple double play balls really help keep the lead intact to get out of some jams.
Nico swings, and it's a pop fly down the right field line, but it slices foul out of play.
Kind of like the game one, the White Sox with Hauser. He was a sinker baller, and he got a couple big double play balls, I think in the first and then in the third or fourth to really kind of squash anything the Cubs were doing. And then the Cubs yesterday were able to do kind of the same thing.
Horner pulls one foul out of play off to the left. The next pitch will be number 10 of this plate appearance. Horner waits. Burke deals. Check swing and a pitch low and outside. On appeal, no swing. So Horner has worked a full count.
Good take by Nico. That's a tough pitch to take, but he did it. Just holds up enough where he didn't end up going too far.
The payoff pitch. Horner swings and fouls it out of play off to the right. So Horner has seen 11 pitches so far here in this plate appearance.
Right, as we know, that's a big deal on days like today where it's so hot and humid.
And another foul ball. This one second deck off to the right by Nico.
Okay, fans, you got to pay attention. The game's over this way. That one almost. Everybody, if it's second inning, people are just getting here, or they've been in a concourse, or having one of the milkshakes we had yesterday.
Horner hits a pop fly, shallow right, foul territory, giving chase the first baseman Vargas, but it's in the stands again. Another foul ball.
Yeah, I'm looking right above the suites, just off to our right, and two guys, one in the Cubs jersey, one in the Sox jersey. They were hugging, looking away from the field entirely, and the ball went right between the two of them, and they had it and bounced back towards the field, off the wall. I'm like, game's over this way, guys. Yeah.
Nico waits. The pitch. A hard ground ball knocked down by Montgomery, but he's not going to be able to make a play. Nico has an infield single. That ball hit off the glove of Montgomery and bounced into foul territory. That was the 15th pitch of the at-bat. Wow.
Yeah, that's like an inning's worth of pitches for one guy. Pretty amazing, and Nico wins that battle. Nice play by Montgomery at third. He is a natural shortstop playing third base out of need for the White Sox and wanting to get him up here to the big leagues. He saves them 90 feet. That's for sure going to be a double if he doesn't get his glove on.
Throw to first. Nico gets back standing up. Warner has 19 stolen bases this season. Matt Shaw at the plate. No one in a Cubs uniform has been hotter since the All-Star break. He's riding an 8-game hitting streak. 6 home runs now on the year for Shaw. And the pitch. Outside. 1-0 the count. Lays off a slider. Shaw hitting .478, 11 for 23 since the break with 4 home runs during that time. He had 2 home runs over the first 63 games of the season as Shaw looks at a slider for a strike. 1-1.
Yeah, it'd be a big boost for the Cubs lineup if Matty can swing the bat well here, since the break and have a good second half.
Shaw swings and misses at a slider, 1-2.
But even his swings now, they look aggressive. They look like, if he puts the barrel of the bat on a baseball, he's going to do damage. There's been times where I feel like, his confidence is down and, he's just feeling for the baseball, not seeing it real well. That is not the case right now.
Throw to first. Nico gets back standing up. That's twice now that Burke has thrown over. Cubs with a 2-1 lead over the White Sox. 1 away here in the top of the second.
Love to see Nico take off for second base.
Warner dancing off the bag. He doesn't go. The pitch. Shaw grounds one. Past third. Into left field for a base hit. And Horner cruises to third base. Cubs now have men at the corners with just 1 away here in the second. And Michael Busch due up. Shaw now has a 9-game hitting streak.
Well, hold on now. They just called that an error on Montgomery. That's a guy that definitely hasn't played third base before. That's a really tough play for Montgomery going to his left and that in-between hop. Never did get leather on it and went past him on his left side. It's a tough play if you have not played much third. It really is, because you either got to go get that ball or you've got to take a step and a half back and get one more step back to get a little longer hop. They gave him an error. That may change here as this game progresses.
Busch at the plate. Shaw goes. The pitch swung on and missed. Throw to second is not in time. Shaw steals the base. Nico remains at third. Are you surprised that Caro threw down to second?
I am not, but what I am surprised at, I think Nico had some thoughts on trying to go home. That I'm surprised. I out of the corner of my eye, I was watching the throw from the catcher as he was cocking back, and Nico was right on time coming towards home. If Nico goes when he started moving, he scores.
Infield in for the White Sox. Busch at the plate. Men at second and third. 2-1 Cubs over the Sox here in the second. The pitch called strike. Curveball that spun in the zone.
Stolen bases by Cubs are powered by Atturo Tire, Chicago hometown tire. Find a dealer at Atturo.com.
Busch caught looking in the first.
Now you got to put this ball in play if you're Michael. You got to shorten up and just make sure you get contact.
The 0-2. A swing and a miss. Strike 3. 2 away.
After some breaking balls, then they go at the high gas to Michael and just couldn't get on top of that ball. Had a little bit of an upshoot swing on that last pitch. Was unable to get on top of that ball and threw it right past him.
So Kyle Tucker stands in with men at second and third and 2 away here in the top of the second. Cubs with a 2-1 lead. The pitch. Shot foul off to the right. 0-1. Burke, the right-hander, former college teammates with Shaw, who's standing at second base. They played together at Maryland. Burke peers in, acknowledges the sign from his catcher. Caro sets at the belt. He's working on the third base side of the rubber. The pitch. Tucker hits it foul right behind home plate. 0-2. Pete Crow Armstrong with a 2-run double in the first. Andrew Benintendi, a solo shot for the White Sox. And that's where we stand here with 2 on and 2 out in the top of the second. 2-1 Cubs. Here comes the 0-2. Tucker swings, and it's a fly ball to left. It's playable for Benintendi, who makes the catch, roaming toward left center. Out number 3, Cubs leave 2. We head to the last of the second. Cubs 2, White Sox 1 on the score in the Southwest Airlines Cup.
All right, Ryan, PSA dove in. Do we have them graded?
We do. This is the first set of graded cards from the 2024 Topps MLB Network set.
I'm so excited about this. Now, they all have the same grade, or?
No.
So one of us will be like the highest graded card.
Could be. There could be multiple.
Okay,
so first up, we got Mark DeRosa.
Let's see what he wrote. Of course, D-Rose a 10 out of 10. Handsome, athletic. All right.
It's a 5-man umpiring crew here today. And this young superstar.
And did their feet get tangled up? Yeah, so Hoppy tripped. They got their feet tangled up before the ball came down.
That goes helicoptering into the net. It's punt off.
And that ball is off the ladder. It's actually off the ladder. You never see that.
A little tumble behind the mound. Hat fell off. That was awesome. I mean, you just don't see that. All right, so here's the Mets home jersey. To me, growing up in New York, also a very iconic jersey. The blue pinstripes that represented the Dodgers.
Chicago.com.
On Sunday, August 3rd, the Cubs take on the Orioles at 1:20 after the first 10,000 early arriving fans receive a Greg Maddux 1988 rain delay bobblehead presented by Reynolds Wrap. Be here for it. Get your tickets at Cubs.com/tickets. Here's Zach Zaidman.
Thank you very much, Speaks. Edgar Caro takes a fastball for a strike to begin the bottom of the second inning. The next pitch by Ben Brown is fouled back out of play by Caro in the hole 0-2. Switch hitting catcher batting from the left side against the right-hander Brown. Caro hitting at .277 on the year. He's got a couple of home runs. The pitch is inside for a ball, 1-2. Cubs leading the Sox 2-1 here in the rubber match of the South Side edition of the Crosstown Series. Brown deals. Caro swings and misses. Strike 3. Pitch in the dirt. Knuckle curveball, 1 away.
That goes right back to what we were talking about at the open of the broadcast, that Browning gets ahead with the fastball, and then, the hitter's got, a couple things to contend with. Mid-90s or above fastball, or do you cover the breaking ball? And with the knuckle curve going straight down, he chases that one about shoe top high.
Colson Montgomery hitting. Left-handed batter. He swings and misses at a curveball. 0-1. Strikeouts by Cubs pitchers are brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. 2 strikeouts so far today for Ben Brown. 25-year-old right-hander. He deals. And that pitch is in the dirt. So 1 ball and 1 strike.
Manager challenges and instant replays. All reviews. This game is sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. Second opinion's always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine.
Brown works his motion. The pitch is hit high in the air. Right center field. Crow Armstrong has a play. Backing up onto the track. He makes the catch for out number 2 as Montgomery is retired.
And as we've talked about all series long, the ball is really going to carry here at Wright Field. It's been hot, it's been humid, and just great hitting weather. It's just that simple. And that ball not hit all that well when it came off the bat, and it ended up on the warning track in right center field.
Now Luis Robert Jr. hitting for the first time in this series. He takes a ball up high from Brown, a curve that missed. Robert, the designated hitter for the White Sox today, missed the first 2 games with a groin strain. Here's the 1-0. Robert swings, lines one down the left field line, playable for Happ, who ranges over and makes the catch. A 1-2-3, bottom of the second inning for Ben Brown as he gets the Sox to go down.
Beautiful. Find yours at your locally owned retailer. Visit BenjaminMoore.com today.
Seiya Suzuki is on deck. Who's on deck? Brought to you by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. Here's Zach Zaidman.
Matt, thank you. Top 3, Cubs 2, White Sox 1. Suzuki waits, and the first pitch from Sean Burke is a slider that spins into the zone. Just clipped the outside edge for a strike. 0-1. Burke facing home plate. Now he spins and delivers. Suzuki waves at a slider in the hole. 0-2. Seiya walked in the first and scored a run. Beat Crow Armstrong with a 2-run double in that first inning. The pitch. High and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. A lot of cloud cover at the moment here at Rate Field. It was really bright and sunny during pregame. Here comes the 1-2 delivery. Called strike 3, fastball right down the middle. Suzuki's gone, 1 away.
So they get a couple breaking balls early in that at bat. Good pitchers pitches. One clipped the corner, one just off the outside edge, then gets frozen by a fastball inside. That also catches the corner. Pretty good sequence of pitches against Seiya there.
Crow Armstrong at the plate, and he looks at a strike. A breaking ball that spins into the zone. 0-1. PCA now hitting at .269 after that 2-run double in the first. The pitch. Swing and a miss. PCA with 76 runs batted in this season. He also stole a base in that first inning. He was 29 on the year. The pitch up high. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Righty-lefty matchup with Burke on the mound and Crow Armstrong at the plate. Here comes the 1-2. And this is pop. Foul out of play just to the left of us.
Right over the top of us.
I never worry when you're here.
You should.
I know if it's in the neighborhood, you're going to make a play of some kind.
We're going to try. I'll say that. I'll give you that.
That's more than me. The pitch. And a line drive hit to deep left center field. Still carrying it. 1 hops off the wall. Crow Armstrong cruising into second base. His second double of the ballgame.
Boy, and you talk about a good sign. We were just saying in his first at bat that yesterday he finishes the ballgame with a really good at bat and made a really good adjustment. Here he gets a hanging breaking ball. Doesn't try to pull this ball. He stays to the other side of the field and 1 hops the left center field wall. And boy, you talk about good news to the hitting coaches that a guy is starting to heat up. When you're driving the ball the other way, good things are usually going to happen, and that's exactly what Pete did.
So 1 away here in the top of the third. 2-1 Cubs over the Sox. Crow Armstrong at second base after that double. Carson Kelly at the plate. He's 0 for 1 today with a swinging strikeout. The pitch. Kelly pops it foul out of play off to the right. 0-1.
Kelly got a couple high fastballs in the last AB. See if he really makes a little adjustment here and really tries to cover that fastball at the top of the zone.
Here's the pitch. Outside. So 1-1 the count. The infield playing Kelly to pull. So the second baseman Sosa up the middle just to the right of the bag. And Vargas, the first baseman, wide of the bag.
Yeah, Sosa's there. He's got to pay attention to Pete. If they don't play him close to the bag with Sosa, he'll just take off for third and take third base, which is not a bad move if he can get to third quickly. You know, that gives Kelly a chance to put the ball in play and drive in a run.
Pitch is high and outside. 2-1 the count. The defensive alignment sponsored by Fitzgerald Equipment. Material handling handled. Learn more at FitzgeraldEquipment.com. Crow Armstrong at second base. 1 down. Top 3. Cubs 2. White Sox 1. Kelly at the plate with a 2-1 count. Right-handed batter against the right-hander Burke, who looks at second and deals. Low and outside. It's 3-1.
Now, if you're Kelly, you really sit dead red. Sit on the heater and be on time with that fastball. Probably up in the zone is where Burke likes to throw. He's somewhat conventional with today's game. Get on that fastball, that high heater.
Time called. Kelly's got 13 home runs this year. He's hitting at .275. 36 runs batted in.
He's having a great offensive year. A guy that plays basically every other day, maybe a little more than that now.
The pitch. That's up high. Ball 4. So now the Cubs mounting another rally. Crow Armstrong at second. Kelly heads to first, and Ian Happ will stand in.
How about that 3-1 breaking ball with the base open? I mean, I get you got a base open, but boy, in this ballpark, the more guys you put on base, you just really run the risk of throwing out crooked number after crooked number. We saw that in Game 1. The White Sox did it, and yesterday the Cubs' 7th and 8th inning did it.
Happ hitting from the left side against the righty Burke. The pitch. Misses.
Burke is wondering where he's got some of these pitches. Carapazza pointed straight up that he's got them high. Our monitor does not. Our monitor with that box says these pitches, the last few, have been strikes at the top of the zone.
Yeah, right along the outside edge, but that was called a ball. A long set and a pickoff play at second. There was no infielder near the bag. Burke still fired. Crow Armstrong had to duck, and the shortstop, Mydroth, caught the ball way behind second base. That was odd. Met at first and second. 1 away. Here's the 1-0. Happ pulls one down the right field line. Foul. Bounced on the side track.
Hanging breaking ball to Ian, but pulled the trigger early and hit that ball right off the end of the bat. Broke his bat, so he'll need some new lumber.
So Happ gets a two-tone bat from the Cubs bat boy. Just his powder blue batting gloves. He gets ready to dig in. Crow Armstrong at second, Kelly at first. 1 down, top 3. Cubs 2, Sox 1. Happ at the plate with a 1-1 count. Burke working on the third base side of the rubber, sets at the belt, looks at second, and deals. Called strike. Top of the zone, outside corner. A changeup, 1-2.
So he got the high changeup call. That one was up in the zone.
Well, it's slower. It's easier to see if you're the umpire, I guess.
As opposed to the curveball?
Here comes the 1-2. Happ an awkward swing and miss at a fastball up high. Strike 3, 2 away.
Yeah, after some off-speed pitches up, then they go high fastball. This ball about shoulder high. Ian tries to hold up, could not, and that'll be the second out of the inning.
So here comes Dansby Swanson, who was caught looking in the second. Swanson was the first batter that Burke faced today. Bulk reliever who entered play in the second inning. 2 on, 2 out for the Cubs here in the third. They've got a 2-1 lead over the White Sox. Swanson, a right-handed batter, stands deep in the box, hits out of a crouch, stance a little open. And the pitch is up high. Slider that missed.
Play Dansby straight up in the outfield, maybe one step to the opposite side in center. That's about it. Pretty straight away.
The pitch. That's high. Again, 2-0.
Kind of surprised where Sosa is playing at second base. He's kind of staying close to Pete to kind of hold him at second, really with 2 outs. If he takes third, you let him take it, but you want to have more range at second base, cover more ground.
The next pitch is swung on and missed. A slider right at the bottom of the zone. 2-1 on Swanson. Two on, 2 out for the Cubs here in the third. Cubs up by 1 over the White Sox here in this rubber match. Burke steps off the rubber. Now Swanson digs in after tapping home plate with his bat. Burke looks at second. Here's the pitch. Foul back, out of play.
Dansby, he's a little frustrated. He got a good pitch to hit. That was a fastball, mid-thigh, inner half. That's right in his wheelhouse. Took a big rip and fouled it back. That's one of those swings where he tried to do too much with it and just backside collapses a little, and you really get that upshoot swing, and just didn't hit through the ball.
So 2-2 the count. The pitch outside. It's now full count with Dansby at the plate. Men at first and second. Here in the top of the third. This is a laborious third inning for the right-hander Sean Burke. He's already thrown 52 pitches today. Here comes the payoff pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Got him with a fastball up high and outside. Cubs strand 2. Middle 3.
Five-man umpiring crew here today, and this young superstar.
And did their feet get tangled up? Yeah, so Hoppy Tritt, they got their feet tangled up before the ball came down.
That goes helicoptering into the net. It's prime time.
And that ball is off the ladder. It's actually off the ladder. You never see that.
A little tumble behind the mound, hat fell off. That was awesome. I mean, you just don't see that.
I'm helping these kids be the best versions of themselves, and I'm also representing like where I came from. And then the Zilla team, I was working with a creative guy that was with Nike. I work with my best friend who manages this team with me, and we kind of just like put together like what we think would look cool. We went like Godzilla theme. You kind of get to help them grow up into a young man and help them just make the right steps forward, and that's really why I started to have impact.
At Bet365.
It is 80 degrees at 2 p.m. on the dot in Chicago. Time and temperature is sponsored by Circa Sports Illinois. Bet like the pros and download the Circa Sports app today. Here's Zach Zaidman.
Matt, thank you. Lenine Sosa will lead things off here the last of the third for the White Sox. Cubs with a 2-1 lead. Ben Brown on the mound. Sosa waits. Brown deals. Pitch inside for ball 1. Get you a station identification as time permits here. Sosa wearing those neon green shoes and the neon green sleeve. Here's the pitch, low and outside. 2-0. I mean, it looks better with this White Sox uniform. The white home uniform with the black pinstripes, black numerals. Pitch is inside. 3-0. And I say that because the White Sox wore their City Connect uniforms on Friday night. Same colors as the uniforms that the Bulls wear. Here's the pitch. Called strike. Fastball at the bottom of the zone. 3-1.
That's not good. I'm just saying, that's not good.
It's not your style for sure. Or mine. And the 3-1 pitch. Ground ball up the middle and through for a base hit. Leadoff single for Sosa here in the third. Let's pause 10 seconds for stations to identify themselves on the score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Take the Cubs with you in the Chicagoland area on the free Odyssey app. We are the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network, WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Alongside Ron Coomer, Zach Zaidman in for Pat. Matt Spiegel is along, and our engineer today is Rich White, helping us blast through the speakers of your radio as well as all of your smart devices. Bottom three, 2-1 Cubs, a man at first for the Sox. And the batter, Brooks Baldwin, looks at a strike. Right at the bottom of the zone on the inside edge. Curveball from Brown. Sosa being held on at first by Bush. Brown acknowledges the sign from Kelly. A long set, and the pitch. In there for strike two. Fastball clocked at 97 miles per hour on the outer half.
Yeah, good gas in the outside corner from Brownie. See if he goes at high fastball or goes to the knuckle curve, tries to put him away right away.
And the 0-2. Line for a base hit to left. Ball quickly retrieved along the line by Happ to hold Sosa to second base. But back-to-back singles to begin the last of the third for the White Sox. First Sosa, now Baldwin. And it'll bring up the top of the order, the former Cub, Mike Tauchman.
Went to the breaking ball on 0-2 and hung this one. It's away. It's not in the middle of the plate. It's away, but it's up. And it's, about mid-thigh or so, and pretty good swing by Baldwin as he didn't try to pull this ball and just goes with it and shoots it in the left field for a base knock.
2-1 Cubs, no one out here in the bottom of the third. Tauchman at the plate with men at first and second. Brown delivers. Tauchman looks at a strike on the outside edge. Another fastball from Brown. Got to play the Binny's Beverage Depot attendance game. If you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking. Brown looks at second. That's where Sosa is. The pitch is low to Tauchman. 1-1. Looks like we're going to have another whopper of a crowd here on this Sunday afternoon at Rate Field.
Here, I can write your guess in already.
38,500.
There's a surprise.
Good call. You go with what works. I'm 2-0. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss and a knuckle curve. 1-2 on Tauchman.
You may be the only one that I've ever known in all these years that keeps score of the attendance game. Congratulations.
I think our listeners do, right?
Sure.
I mean, if you're playing a game, you want to keep score. And that's the whole point. You want to win, right? I don't want to have a loser's lament. Sosa at second, Baldwin at first. No one out near the bottom of the third. Tauchman waits. The 1-2 from Brown. Swing and a foul back.
39,000 I'll go with. How's that?
All right.
Maddie?
39-22. 39-22.
Okay. Richie? Someone wake Rich up, will you, please?
We'll get his guess after this pitch here by Brown. Here it comes. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Brown gets Tauchman with a knuckle curve. One away.
Good breaking ball down and in. And, that's the thing for Browning. You just got to pitch ahead. He made a good breaking ball there to Tauchman as opposed to the one before that to Baldwin where he just left it up just a little bit. Good pitch.
So men at first and second for the Sox, one away. Chase Mydroth at the plate, looks at a ball low from Brown. All right, Richie, what's your guess?
All right, I'm going to go 37,500.
Wow, all right. So the guesses are in. As I like to say, it's a very highly competitive game, the Binny's Beverage Depot attendance game. Good luck, men. Brown's ready. Here's the pitch. That's up high to Mydroth.
We need to get out more.
2-0 the count. Be heading out to Milwaukee following today's ball game. Cubs begin that pivotal 3-game series in Wisconsin against the Brew Crew.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun series, no doubt. You can't overlook this series here in its final game, but, that's going to be a fun one.
Now the 2-0. Mydroth takes a strike. Bottom of the zone right along the inside edge. A fastball from Brown.
Both teams with records that are right there along the top with anybody in baseball.
Now the pitch. Mydroth pops it up. Sky high pop up right side of the infield. Horner on the grass, and it drops. He'll throw to third, and they've got Sosa.
Infield fly, right? And that's a double play. Great job by Nico.
He waited for the infield fly call to be announced and then let it drop. That's a beautiful play.
Well, we certainly served it up over the plate. This is a burger fit for a home run king, the 99 burger in honor of Aaron Judge. They sell a bazillion of these at Yankee Stadium. It looks pretty good. I feel like we passed the test. What about you?
I think so.
Kids out of school. This season is the time for making memories, not appointments. That's why you should go to Great Clips. You can use convenient online check-in to get in for a cooler, shorter haircut for less whenever you have time. Plus, their skilled salon stylists save your haircut details in clip notes, so you can get the same cut next time, no matter who you see. So, what are you waiting for? Get in, get out, and get back to enjoying summer with time-saving haircuts at Great Clips. It's gonna be great. Illinois Bone and Joint Institute, a leader in comprehensive orthopedic care. Visit ibji.com for locations.
Nico Horner leads off the top of the fourth by looking at a ball inside. 1-0 the count. Cubs leading the White Sox 2-1.
Well, Nico ends the inning with a pretty heads-up play. In one of those plays, if you try it and nothing happens, it's no harm, no foul. That curveball missed inside. It's an infield pop-up in the infield on the grass. Nico did not catch the pop-up and let it bounce. And then you just start looking around to see if anybody's going to run as that fastball's in for a strike. He lets it bounce, and Sosa, who's on second with only one out, and there's first and second, takes off for third. Nico picks it up, throws to third, and the Cubs get a double play. The base runners are not obligated to run if the ball is not caught. You do not have to run on an infield fly for that purpose, but Nico gave it a shot, and it ended up working out for the Cubs.
Nico fouls that last pitch back out of play. So 2-2 the count. And when Nico let the ball drop, he didn't know that Sosa would go, but that's why you take the chance. The 2-2 is shot foul at the plate. Heads up play. Is that something that you talk about as a team prior to the game, or you just understand here's the circumstance?
I think some guys have done that before, or at least look for that play. A lot of guys don't look for it, just catch the ball and play on. That was a situation where it could work, though.
as Horner swings and misses. Strike 3.
You know, the ball was going to land in the infield grass, right on the edge of the grass and the dirt, kind of over by first base, kind of between Nico and Bushy. And so the ball's not really going to go anywhere. I mean, you got 2 guys standing there, and they just let it drop.
That was a huge play in the game. White Sox had men at first and second. They would have had 2 outs if nothing happened after the drop. Matt Shaw at the plate, looks at the ball low and outside. Shaw reached on an error in the second. Riding an 8-game hitting streak entering play today. Right-handed batter. The pitch. Popped up, foul out of play. So 1-1 the count on Shaw. Cubs struck first. Pete Crow Armstrong with a 2-run double in the first. Burke works his motion and deals. Shaw grounds one. Backhanded stop along the line behind the bag by Montgomery. Tough plays. He fires a strike to first to get Shaw 2 away.
Nice play by Montgomery. The ball hit down the line and a backhand play, and then comes up and throws a strike across the diamond. It's a good play because Shaw runs well.
So 2 down. Here's Michael Busch, who's 0 for 2 today with a couple of strikeouts. Left-handed batter facing the righty Burke, and the pitch. He swings and fouls it back just underneath us. I was able to quickly gauge that I was not in danger with that foul ball.
I was ready and was going to dive in front of you, Zach.
I have no faith in you, but thankfully Coom is here, the former big leaguer. The pitch. Busch swings and misses. 0-2. If you were in front of me, I'd have a little bit more faith.
There's a lot of action up here. My goodness.
Close to home plate here at right field.
Busch.
Gas booth.
Busch lays off a high fastball. So the count is 1-2. 2 down here in the top of the 4th. Cubs 2, White Sox 1. Burke kicks and delivers. Busch swings and misses. Strike 3. Got him with a fastball clocked at 95 miles per hour. Cubs go down in order here in the top of the 4th. Middle 4, Cubs 2, White Sox 1. On the score in the Southwest.
A lot of baseball fans have some familiarity with the T206 American Tobacco card set. Of course, features the famous Hannes Wagner card. What we have here are 3 cards from the lesser-known T205 set, which really was a successor to T206. T206 came out in 1909. These 3 cards, as part of the T205 set, came out in 1911.
With the Cubs.
The out-of-town scoreboard is sponsored by Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app now. Instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up, Zach Zaidman.
Ben Brown deals, and his first pitch to Andrew Benintendi is low and outside for ball 1.
Yuri Perez and the Marlins up on the Brewers 2-1 in the bottom of the 4th. Cardinals losing to the Padres 3-0.
Called strike. 1-1 now on Benintendi.
And the Reds beating the Rays 2-0. That's your NL Central look.
Thank you very much, Speegs. Cubs and Brewers entered play, tied for first in the National League Central. Ben Brown rocks back and deals. Here's the pitch. Benintendi fouls it back just to the left of us. 1-2. Cubs with a 2-1 lead over the White Sox here in the bottom half of the fourth inning.
Molly and Haw talk Cubs baseball in Chicago sports every weekday morning, 5:30 to 10 on 670 The Score and the Odyssey app. Shouldn't that say Spiegel and Holmes on there?
They'll be on 2. Here's the pitch. A ground ball sharply hit to second, fielded by Horner. The flip to first in time. Benintendi's retired. One away here in the last of the fourth.
Well, I say that because he's in our booth.
Yeah, he is.
I mean, you know.
Someday we'll get that big morning show promotion, Coom. But right now, it's all them.
Afternoon show's pretty popular, too. The first down is brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming. So now the batter, Miguel Vargas, right-handed batter. Brown deals, and Vargas looks at the ball low and outside.
You know you're a big deal in the city when here in front of 40,000 people, they're playing the song you're singing in pregame today. They had Lenny Casper's band with Maddie singing the songs here earlier today.
Ground ball to short. Swanson fields and throws across. Vargas is retired, 2 away.
They don't have stuff about us singing, I can promise you that.
Nor would they want to,
Yeah,
right?
that's a good thing, yeah. I have sang here in the city, and we don't hear that ever. And I'm really happy no one's got video of that. But you, Speaks, that's a different story.
Gonna have to look for that Coomer audio now.
No, you don't want to do that. You'll ruin your lunch.
Edgar Caro at the plate with 2 down here in the last of the fourth. The pitch is up high for a ball from Brown. Fastball that missed. Brown delivers the next pitch, and a bouncing ball, a hit to short. Fielded by Swanson, his throw across in time. And Brown gets the Sox to go down in order here in the fourth. The fourth inning was sponsored.
You deserve a car that thrills you. And Nissan's got an exciting full line that'll put goosebumps on your goosebumps. Experience the thrill for yourself. Shop your local Nissan store and NissanUSA.com today.
It is a 2-1 ball game. Cubs up on the White Sox as we hit the fifth inning here at Rate Field on the south side of Chicago. Cubs and White Sox, the final game of their crosstown series on the year. Sean Burke remains in the game for the White Sox. He's gone 3 innings, given up 2 hits. He struck out 7 already, has walked 1. He did not give up the 2 runs. Those were against Grant Taylor in the first inning. A little squib double off the bat of Pete Crow Armstrong to drive in 2. Andrew Benintendi, a solo homer off Ben Brown in the bottom of the first, and that's how we get here to the fifth. Kyle Tucker steps in for the Cubs against Sean Burke. First pitch coming, and that is taken low for a ball. 1-0 on Kyle Tucker. Tucker with a double to the right center field gap in the first inning, and he came around and scored on that PCA squib. The 1-0 to Tucker is taken low. 2-0 now the count. Hot and muggy Sunday afternoon. Cubs have won 4 of the first 5 against the White Sox and have stepped ahead in the all-time series as well by just 1 game. The 2-0 to Tucker is taken low. Again, Sean Burke behind Kyle Tucker now. 3-0 the count in a 2-1 ball game in the top of the fifth. Amazing that these two teams have played 151 times. Here comes the 3-0 to Tucker. That's taken in there for a strike. And Ron Coomer, yesterday the Cubs win gives them 76 wins to the 75 wins for the White Sox. It hasn't always been even in terms of who's good at the time, but when they play, it's even. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Tucker hits that one hard towards center field, but Brooks Baldwin floating under it and makes the catch for the first out.
Yeah, this is one of those series. When you have these rivalry games, I just think, a lot of times you can throw out the records, and definitely here in this series, I thought, the same thing was the case in New York when, when I was in New York playing against the Mets. Those are games. The whole city's involved, right? I mean, it's all in. Chips are pushed in for 3 straight days. That's the way it goes, and they're fun series to play and or call the games. Absolutely.
Seiya Suzuki steps in, takes the first pitch inside from Sean Burke. The count 1-0. Seiya with a walk in that first inning and scored a run, and then struck out looking in the third. Yeah, those two markets that you mentioned, I think those are the two best for the interleague play crosstown series. The 1-0 to Seiya is hit in the air off to the right side, fouled back and well out of play.
Well, there's some other good rivalries, but I really think, that's probably the best two. I would agree to that.
This one just always kind of feels special. You get people wearing their colors and representing, even on Friday before the series began, getting ready for the festivities. Pitch to Seiya, swung on and missed. 1-2 the count. Seiya's been in a bit of a funk here, Coom. He hit the ball hard yesterday, but the number's not good over the last 7 games or so. Behind to Sean Burke, 1-2 pitch coming. Takes that one for a called strike 3.
Fastball right in the outside corner, top of the zone. Good pitcher's pitch, and it did hit the strike zone. At least the zone in our monitor. And, that pitch for Seiya, I know it looked away, but it came back to the corner.
We are coming to you live all season from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. Pete Crow Armstrong steps in against Sean Burke. First pitch is taken outside. The Cubs are teaming up with Advocate Healthcare and other partners for Cubs for a Cure, a multi-day fundraiser supporting the fight against cancer. Tune in to 670 The Score's 24-hour radiothon starting this Thursday, July 31st. And join us at Wrigley Field on August 2nd to help support the cause. Pete Crow Armstrong hits that second pitch high in the air, in play. Third baseman Colson Montgomery steps under it and makes the catch. Visit Cubs.com/Cubs for a...
My security right there. That's the bad one, Roscoe Pico train.
Major League Baseball wanted to start doing something with the players and their dogs.
Which one's the dog?
I was undecided on whether to do a dog card or not, but my wife pushed me in the back and she wanted a famous dog, so she told me to do it.
We wanted to introduce something new. And then working in some of our past and what the past can look like in the future. I think our players absolutely love it, and our fans, we think they'll learn to love it, especially if you can win in it. That kind of solves everything.
Under or overcooking your chicken, fish, or meat to achieve perfection. Order one now on ChefIQ.com. That's ChefIQ.com.
Back here at Wrigley Field for the bottom of the 5th, and the third baseman, the rookie Colson Montgomery, steps in against Ben Brown. Ben Brown into the fifth. The first pitch is a fastball for a strike on the top of the zone. Coom, you mentioned in pregame that Ben Brown might be a little more comfortable as a starter. What do you think?
He's given up 1 run, 3 hits. We're here in the bottom of the fifth. To me, everybody's a little different, right? We all are in our professions. And I think for Brownie, I'm sure he's been a starting pitcher since he's been a kid. And then you take him out of that routine a little bit where he's, you're getting ready to pitch in the first inning as someone else is out there. And, I'm no pitcher, never have been, but I just wonder if some guys, if that's has more of an effect on one guy as opposed to another, and so I just wondered that in the pregame today, wondering if that would help Brownie. Well, his performance today has been very good. Whether that had an impact or not, so far so good for Ben Brown.
Count is 1-2 to Colson Montgomery, and there's a called strike 3 looking as Brown walks off the mound confidently. Montgomery shakes his head and walks slowly back to the dugout. 51 pitches for Ben Brown here through 4 1/3 innings on the south side.
Just good breaking ball after some good fastballs. That's a backdoor hook, and it hits the outside corner. Perfect pitch by Brownie.
Luis Robert Jr., the DH today against Ben Brown, takes the first pitch, a fastball low. 52 pitches, as I mentioned, is nice and efficient for Ben Brown here into the fifth. Lenine Sosa on deck. 1 away and a 2-1 Cubs lead here in the fifth. Robert takes that one as well. 2-0 the count.
Now here's where you got to be careful. Robert hit a line drive bullet to left in his first at bat. And he's going to be cheating on a fastball here.
Robert swings and hits it on the ground to third. Stepping in is Matt Shaw. Little crow hop, throws across the diamond for the second out. 2 away here in the fifth.
Good call by Kelly. It's the veteran catcher, right? Some of that time, those things don't always get talked about, but 2-0 hook instead of going with the gas. And you notice that Robert in his first at bat was on the fastball. You spin the 2-0 hook, just get me over a curveball, and you get a little 2-hopper routine out.
Here's Lenine Sosa. Takes a fastball in there for a strike. Sosa was doubled off on a terrific defensive play by Nico Horner, who let an infield fly drop and took advantage of the base running error. The 0-1 to Sosa is fouled high into the air, into the upper deck on the right side. Bounces off a facade and back down into a packed house here at right field on the south side. Good energy, good buzz here in the stadium for the final Cubs-Sox game of the year. Sosa grounds that one up the middle. Dansby Swanson to his left, takes a step, throws across for the final out. Ben Brown is through 5. Cubs have a lead, 2-1. A reminder that all opponent pitching changes are sponsored by Sloan.
PSA dove in. Do we have them graded?
We do. This is the first set of graded cards from the 2024 Topps MLB Network set.
I'm so excited about this.
Yeah.
Now, they all have the same grade, or
no?
So one of us will be like the highest graded card.
Could be. There could be multiple. So first up, we got Mark DeRosa.
Let's see what D-Rose. Of course, D-Rose a 10 out of 10. Handsome, athletic. All right.
Or if you swap a jersey, one of the players on the National League, who would it be? Who would you pick?
Okay, so I got an Ohtani jersey last.
To sign with the winning team, Mayo haters, prepare to eat your words.
At Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric, we make home service easy. We guarantee same-day service and installation with no extra charge for nights, weekends, or holidays. Family-owned for 53 years, Four Seasons has over 30,000 five-star Google reviews and an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. For all your plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical needs, for all the right reasons, call 866 4 seasons.
For all the right reasons, call it 664 Seasons.
When it comes to tuxedos and suits, the pros at Suits 2020 have the winning looks. Why rent when you can own for about the same price? Schedule your free fitting at Suits2020.com.
First pitch swinging is Kelly, and he hits a little soft line drive back through the middle for a base knock. So the Cubs get the leadoff guy on here in the top of the 6th inning. See what's on tap here in the 6th, sponsored by Flight by Yuengling, the next generation light beer. Cubs are up 2-1. There has been one home run hit. That was by Benintendi, but the Cubs could use a couple balls in flight. And actually, the people from Yuengling are here today in one of the suites just off to our right. I got a chance to say hi to them today. So welcome to the South Side guys. It's great to see them here at the ballpark today.
Very cool. Ian Happ at the plate. He swings and pops it foul out of play off to the left. 0-1. Happ's got the power to put something in flight here today. Hit a home run yesterday in the Cubs' 6-1 victory over the White Sox. This is the rubber match. Cubs 2, Sox 1 here in the top of the 6th with Kelly at first and no one out. Burke delivers, and Happ looks at a pitch inside. 1-1 the count.
David Radomski and some of the people from Yuengling here. And for all, all the sponsors that are really involved in Cubs baseball and all the sports around the city. It's a big deal for them too, right? For everybody. Just a fun series to be a part of, and the White Sox are going to end up drawing over 100,000 people here in this series for the 3 ball games. It's always great to see the people from Yuengling.
Happ waits for the 1-1. Here it comes. Up high. 2-1.
Still selling flight, guys. Don't worry. We're all good. Yep. It's going good. Yep.
Yeah.
We may even sample 1 or 2 today when I get back to the place tonight after this game. It's a good day for that, Z. I'm telling you. Yeah.
I could use a mind-enhancing refreshment or 2. Following the game, of course. We're not Harry. Here's the pitch. And a line drive hit to shallow center. Coming in, Baldwin has a play. Makes the catch. 1 away as Happ is retired. And that'll bring up Dansby Swanson with 1 on and 1 out here in the top of the 6th. Cubs with a 2-1 lead over the Sox. Nico Horner on deck. Who's on deck is brought to you by TimberTech Decking and Railing. Everything wood should be. Visit TimberTech.com. Swanson's 0 for 2. Couple of strikeouts. 1 looking, 1 swinging. Burke, the right-hander, works his motion and deals. Up high, ball 1. We're coming to you live all season long from the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. Hot, steamy day here on the south side. Temperature 85 degrees at first pitch. It feels a lot hotter than that. Here's the 1-0. And excuse me, check swing up the first base line, fielded by Vargas, who steps on the bag. Swanson is out, 2 away, moving to second on the play, Kelly.
Yeah, now the Cubs need a big 2-out hit here from Nico. Drive in a run. Dansby tried to check his swing, but that breaking ball hit him right at the end of the bat and stayed fair.
So now Nico Horner stands in. 2-1 Cubs, 2 away, top 6. Kelly at second.
Sosa playing right up next to the bag at second base with Kelly at second. I'm kind of surprised. He's done that a few times. Really no need to do that as he's backing off now.
Nico looks at a ball outside, 1-0.
2 outs, man at second base, and Kelly's not stealing third. You want to try to cover as much ground as you can as an infielder to try to keep the ball in the infield. Any ball that goes past you is going to drive in a run.
And the 1-0. Low and outside. 2-0 the count with Nico at the plate as Burke missed with a slider. So ideally, where would you want Sosa positioned if you were in
right
charge?
On the edge of the grass. If you want to play him to pull, that's one thing. I understand that. But you want to play with your heels right up against the edge of the grass as deep as you can play because you want to be able to cover as much ground as you can.
Called strike. fastball, bottom of the zone, right along the outside edge. So it's 2-1 with Nico at the plate. Kelly at second, 2 away. Top 6, Cubs up 2-1. Burke along, set and pitch. Called strike. Another fastball, similar spot, right along the outside edge at the bottom of the zone. Now, time call by Nico. Steps out of the box, adjusts his white batting gloves, taps home plate, adjusts the batting helmet, and digs in. Right-handed batter stands deep in the box, hits out of a crouch, slight open stance. Burke looks at second, that's where Kelly is. And the pitch. Nico hits a line drive, right center field. This will drop in for a base hit. Around third, and coming home is Kelly. RBI single the other way for Nico Hoerner. And it's 3-1 Cubs over the Sox here in the 6th.
Boy, and that is vintage Nico Hoerner at his very best. As he gets that pitch up and out over the plate, does not try to pull it, and gets his hands above the ball and just shoots this ball into that gap in right center. Drives in a big 2-out run for the Cubs, and they're up 3-1.
RBIs by Cubs batters, sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Get Old.
Now try to take second base right away. See if you can get to second and give Matty Shaw a shot at driving in a run with 2 outs.
Shaw's 0 for 2 today, and as hot as any Cub coming into action. Nico not going, the pitch. Tap foul at the plate.
Now, in paying attention to this game with Nico, he's been on base a couple times. Burke he's one of those guys that falls into a little bit of a pattern where he holds the ball about the same time. He gets set with a base stealer, and he holds about a good 3 count. You could count the 3 and then go. There, Nico was about there that time.
Line drive, base hit down the left field line. This will roll all the way to the wall. Hoerner speeding around third, being waved home. Here comes the relay throw. It gets past the catcher, Caro. And Hoerner scores. Advancing the third on the play, Nat Shaw. It is now 4-1 Cubs over the White Sox as Shaw extends his hitting streak to 9 games. He's been red hot, and nothing has stopped this weekend.
Now, sometimes you roll the dice if things are going your way as a third base coach. And this ball goes down into the corner, hits the wall, and comes right back to the left fielder, Benintendi. He gets it. He hits the cutoff man, the cutoff throw to the plate. They have Nico dead to right. If they can just play catch, they do not. They kind of short hop the throw. The catcher cannot come up with the play. And Nico scores all the way from first on the double by Shaw.
RBIs by Cubs batters are sponsored by Old National Bank, where relationships and results matter. Get Old. Will Venables going to make a pitching change for the White Sox. Pitching changes by Cubs opponents are sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Visit Sloan.com. It is 4-1 Cubs over the White Sox here in the 6th inning. Let's take a break. You're listening to The Score, the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey Cubs fans, it's Dansby Swanson. Listen to every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Come see what's cooking in Des Moines, Iowa, where there's something for every taste. The crispy hash browns at Waveland Cafe, a sizzling bacon-glazed pork chop at Oak Park, the snap of a foot-long hot dog at an I-Cubs game, a 2-foot State Fair lobster roll that has cameras clicking and mouths watering. Hungry yet? Come to Des Moines and try everything. I guarantee you'll come back for seconds. Plan your foodie feast at CatchDesMoines.com, because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent.
Sliding into second? Smart play. Sliding through a red light? Not so much. With Arturo tires, get the grip and stopping power you need when it matters most. Stay in control, stay safe. Studies show that new tires can reduce stopping distance on wet roads by nearly 90 feet. Ditch the stress and drive with confidence. Arturo Tires has you covered. Visit Arturo.com to find your nearest authorized dealer.
left-hander Tyler Alexander is the new man on the mound for the White Sox. Cubs with a 4-1 lead over the Sox here in the 6th inning. 2 away, Shaw at third. The batter, Michael Busch. Lefty-lefty matchup as Alexander works his motion. Busch swings, and it's a high fly ball to right. It's playable for Tauchman, who makes the catch short of the track, angling toward the line for out number 3. But a big 6th inning for the Cubs. They score twice, 4-1, the lead over the White Sox as we head to the last of the 6th on the Score on the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Take the Cubs with you in the Chicagoland area on the free Odyssey app. We are the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio.
Play in Toronto. Guerrero sends over some good stuff for the guys, so when we play in Toronto, I definitely dive into that.
You gotta be careful with Vladdy, bro, because a Dominican breakfast will put you to sleep, bro. ¿Cómo está sonando la comida dominicana ya?
La comida dominicana ya no sé cómo está sonando, porque obviamente mi esposa me cocina. O sea, hay restaurantes, pero no voy a comer comida latina.
Five-man umpiring crew here today in this young superstar.
And did their feet get tangled up? Yes, so Hoppy tripped. They got their feet tangled up before the ball came down.
That goes helicoptering into the net. It's prime time.
And that ball is off the ladder. It's actually off the ladder. You never see that.
A little tumble behind the mound. Hat fell off. That was awesome. I mean, you just don't see that.
So without further ado, snap on your time goggles and prepare to zoom 1,000 years into the future. The D-backs are still the D-backs, though now they're represented by a robotic techno-snake, and the Cubs have embraced their future amongst the stars, now being represented by Ursa Major. Minneapolis was the first to establish relations with our extraterrestrial...
In terms of RBIs at 87, it's Eugenio Suarez, and Oneil Cruz of the Pirates leads in stolen bases at 34. Here, the Cubs lead Zach Zabin by the score of 4-1.
As we begin the bottom half of the 6th inning, Speaks. New man on the mound for the Cubs, veteran left-hander Caleb Thielbar takes over. Austin Slater will pinch hit, and he looks at a ball low from Thielbar. 1-0 the count. Slater pinch hitting for Brooks Baldwin, the number 9 hitter in the Sox order. Right-handed batter against the lefty Thielbar. And the pitch. This is looped into shallow center and caught by a running Nico Horner, backhanded style, for out number 1. The first out brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming. Nico's been all over the place in today's ball game. A couple of hits, including an RBI single in that 2-run 6th inning for the Cubs. A heads-up play earlier in the game. Infield fly rule pop-up. He let the ball drop and ended up getting Lenin Sosa out at third. Mike Tauchman at the plate, and Tauchman looks at a strike. A slider that spins into the zone for the left-hander Thielbar. 0-1. 4-1 Cubs here in the 6th with 1 down. The pitch. Another breaking ball that spins into the zone for strike 2. Ben Brown started for the Cubs. He went 5 innings. Gave up just 1 run on 3 hits, no walks, 4 strikeouts. Nice outing. There's the pitch. Breaking ball high and inside.
Yeah, that was outstanding by Brownie. And, it goes right back to, you don't know what things affect players differently. Today, he was through his normal starting rotation type routine, and things went really well. So we'll see what happens in his next opportunity. But, I was impressed. He was on the attack. The home run in the first inning by Benintendi didn't affect him. He just kept pitching and doing his job, and it was a very nice outing for Browning.
Tauchman's worked a full count as that last breaking ball missed outside. So 3-2. With 1 down, Tauchman at the plate. He struck out swinging twice today. Chase Mydroth on deck. The pitch. A swing and a foul tip into the glove. Strike 3. 2 away.
Good pitch by Thielbar in on the hands of Tachman, left on left, and Kelly able to hold on to that foul tip.
So 2 down. Here's Chase Mydroth. The White Sox shortstop's a right-handed hitter. He's 0 for 2. The pitch called strike, fastball.
We just had some friends in the booth, some friends of mine, and someone you know from being around here, the president of De La Salle High School, which is like driver 9-iron from here. So Mike didn't have a long way to go. He could just pop over at the office and then come over. Mike Zunica, his wife Jackie here. Mike has been known to hang out a lot at Wrigley Field. We'll just leave it at that, since he's, in the shadows of Raitt Park or Raitt Field. So we'll just leave it at that. I don't want to get him in trouble
don't start
in his own building, but I kind of already did. But that's all right.
Mydroth jumps and foul to the left, 0-2.
But always great to have Z, big baseball guy, played baseball at St. Xavier, right here in the southwest side. I had a chance to tour De La Salle High School not too long ago, and that place, he's really got that place going. It's really cool.
A swing and a miss and a slider in the dirt. Strike 3. Mydroth is retired, and the Sox go down in order.
Toyota, let's go places.
7 on the south side. Cubs with a 4-1 lead over the White Sox. Kyle Tucker leading things off against left-hander Tyler Alexander. And the pitch is pulled on the ground, foul off to the right, 0-1. This date in baseball history is brought to you by villageofbedfordpark.com. Now's the time to make history for your business in Bedford Park. July 27th, 1966. Sandy Koufax and Jim Bunning in the first matchup of perfect game pitchers as Tucker swings, and it's a high fly ball, foul territory off to the left near the netting. It's Montgomery, makes a backhanded attempt but can't make the catch as he tumbles over the top of the tarp along the left field line.
Very good effort by Montgomery. He goes a long way to get to this ball. And then he's at the tarp, and I thought he was diving over the tarp, but I think he started to kind of really lunge out. And then, the tarp kind of hit him around the knees, and great effort. He's an impressive young guy. The White Sox got a very good, solid player in Montgomery, that's for sure.
So 0-2, the count on Tucker as Alexander sets up high. Working on the third base side of the rubber, the high leg kick and pitch inside. It almost hit Tucker in the head. He had to duck out of the way, and the batting helmet goes flying. 1-2.
High and tight to Tuck. I don't necessarily think that was intentional, but it's always suspect when the count is 0-2.
Fastball at 91 miles per hour. So here we go again, the 1-2 delivery. Breaking ball that's popped foul out of play behind the Sox dugout along the left side. 1-2. So Sandy Koufax and Jim Bunning in the first matchup of perfect game pitchers on this date in 1966 battled 11 innings in a pitcher's duel, with the Dodgers eventually prevailing 2-1 at Dodger Stadium. Imagine that. Here's the pitch. Tucker swings and fouls it back over our heads. You'd never see that today. You'd probably never see it again.
No, 11 inning, no chance.
Both starters in the same game.
Think of that. Well, I mean, when we just had Fergie in the booth, a week ago, and Fergie Jenkins multiple times through 300 innings in a season. 300.
That's amazing.
We may not have a guy this season throw 200 innings in a season. The entire league.
That last pitch inside to Tucker. 2-2. The next pitch is low and outside. He's worked a full count.
I think it was 4 straight years Fergie threw 300 innings in the season.
Yeah,
this is absolutely amazing.
Remarkable. Alexander's ready. Tucker digs in. Now the payoff pitch. Low and outside, ball 4. Tucker throws his bat in the direction of the Cubs dugout. He had to earn that walk.
Yeah, Tuck not real happy with the high and tight fastball up around his head, and I don't blame him. Every hitter gets a little perturbed about that, and he ends up with the walk.
So now Seiya Suzuki will stand in. The Cubs designated hitter today. Cubs designated hitters are sponsored by Fireplace and Chimney Authority. Book now, burn later, and skip the rush.
Keep an eye on Tuck. Now he got his dander up a little bit. He may take off for second base. He's one of those guys that, he's pretty mild-mannered guy, pretty quiet, but obviously he wasn't real pleased about that last at-bat getting the high and tight fastball.
Seiya looks at a fastball outside. 1-0 the count. Seiya's 0 for 2 with a walk and a run scored. Powerful right-handed batter against the left-hander Alexander. The pitch in there for a strike. A cutter along the outside edge near the top of the zone. Big hole on the right side of the infield with Vargas, the first baseman, holding on Tucker. And the second baseman, Sosa, playing up the middle just to the right of the bag. Alexander throws to first. Tucker gets back standing up.
Tuck knew they were going to throw over. He was basically standing on the bag. He didn't hardly have to move his left foot to just touch the bag.
He was just staring at Alexander the whole time.
Now let's see if he takes off here.
Another throw to first, and he gets back standing up.
They know, you realize, and, especially, the manager down there, he was in this league a long time too. And when you get somebody who's a good player, and you get them a little hot under the collar, they're going to try to make some things happen. Tuck now with a big lead at first.
He's got 23 stolen bases. He's not going. The pitch high and outside to Suzuki.
Well, Alexander's slide step. Now, when you get a lefty to change his motion and slide step to home, that's what they definitely think that Tuck's going to take off, and I do too.
2-1 the count on Suzuki. Tucker's got a huge lead off the first base bag. They've already thrown twice. He's going. Here's the pitch. Outside. Throw to second is in time. As Sosa applies the tag on Tucker, who was sliding in head first. Tucker's not leaving the bag. He's looking at the Cubs bench and saying, think about challenging this, but they're not going to.
The throw beat him to second. It was just dependent on the tag. Tuck got a bad break from first base. He started to hop off, and then they held the ball and stopped his momentum, and then he took off. And he's hot right now. He's in the dugout. He's not real pleased with the whole situation of that sequence between the at-bat and all this caught stealing.
The 3-1 to Seiya is called strike changeup right down the middle.
Sometimes you get a guy that's a talented player like Tuck, and he's been scuffling a little bit at the plate. Wake a guy up a little bit.
Cutter freezes Suzuki. Strike 3 call, 2 away. I'm willing to bet that there's an inferno burning inside of Tucker after.
Yeah, he's hot right now. There's no doubt about it. That's all right.
What just transpired, yeah.
I got no problem with that at all as a player. Sometimes, things aren't going your way, and the next thing you know, the other team is doing something to really get you fired up a little bit. Pete
Crow Armstrong dribbles one up the third base line. Foul.
That ball was 20 feet in foul territory, but he cued it, and with the spin, it started going back towards fair territory, and Pete had to take off running.
which is a smart play because if it spins back in.
It's fair. Yeah, it's going to be a base hit.
But it didn't. So 0-1. Now Crow Armstrong has to make the slow walk down the first baseline.
All reviews in this game are sponsored by Northwestern Medicine. A second opinion's always a good idea. Get yours at Northwestern Medicine.
2 down, top 7. Cubs with a 4-1 lead over the Sox. The 7th inning is sponsored by the new Volvo XC90, designed for life. Crow Armstrong at the plate with an 0-1 count. Alexander deals. Foul back by PCA. Fastball.
He got a good pitch to hit. That was a fastball inner half, mid-thigh, and just big swing, but underneath.
So 0-2 the count on PCA, who's 2 for 3 today. Couple of doubles, including a 2-run double in the first. Now the 0-2, up high. Surprising to me that with 2 strikes, Montgomery, the third baseman, is playing in, almost on the edge of the infield grass, wide of the bag. The pitch. Crow Armstrong. It's a towering pop-up. Foul territory off to the right near the coach's box. It's the first baseman, Vargas, who makes the catch for out number 3. Time to stretch here on the south side. Cubs up 4-1 over the Sox on the score in the Southwest Airlines Cup.
Well, this is the most famous jersey in baseball, right? The Yankee pinstripes, the interlocking NY, and the Midnight Navy. I was a Yankee fan growing up my whole life.
We are back here on the south side on 670 The Score as we look around the scoreboard right now as they sing here on the south side. I can tell you with the Cubs up on the White Sox by the score of 4-1. The Marlins are beating the Brewers by the score of 2-1. That game now in the top of the 7th. Bottom 6, it's the Cardinals getting plastered by the Padres by the score of 7-0. And the Cincinnati Reds are on top of the Tampa Rays right now. In fact, they've gone ahead and beat them by the score of 2-1. Let's pause 10 seconds right now for stations to identify themselves right here on the score in the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Covering the Cubs and all of Chicago's teams on the Spiegel and Holmes Show afternoons 2 to 6 on the Score, WSCR Chicago, WBMX HD2 Chicago, and Odyssey Sports Station.
Back here for the bottom of the 7th, Zach Zaidman and Ron Coomer with you. The Cubs up by the score of 4-1. A new pitcher in for the Cubs. Zach, it is the lefty Drew Pomerantz.
Yeah, the veteran takes over for fellow veteran left-hander Caleb Thielbar to begin the bottom of the 7th inning with the Cubs up 4-1. The out-of-town scoreboard was sponsored by Club Citgo. Download the Club Citgo app now and instantly save 23 cents per gallon on your first fill-up. Andrew Benintendi will lead off the 7th inning for the White Sox. Ben Brown started for the Cubs. He went the first 5 innings, gave up just 1 run on 3 hits, no walks, 4 strikeouts. That 1 run courtesy of the man at the plate, Benintendi, who hit a solo shot in the first. Pomerantz, high leg kick and pitch. Outside, ball 1, missed with a fastball. Benintendi on the year hitting at .237. Pomerantz delivers. Foul back just below us. See, I didn't move.
Yep, right below us.
If it was a tick higher, Coom, I would have been under the table and would have missed what happened.
I'd have had it if it was a little higher. But the guy that ended up with the baseball, he just spilled $20 worth of a cold one down next to everybody next to him. He's going to owe a lot of people some.
Benintendi swings and misses.
Oh, it's so funny. Broke his glasses. I'm looking at him. Broken glasses. Lost his cold one. But he's got a baseball. There you go. Congratulations.
I mean, it is a big deal. Here comes the 2-2. Benintendi swings and fouls it out of play. Off to the left.
And then he gave the ball to the girls in front of him. There you go.
Well, there's an ulterior motive there, too, Coon. Pomerantz works his motion. Here's the 2-2. An awkward swing. He went around on appeal, says the third base umpire, Nick Marley. Strikeout. Benintendi's retired. One away. The first out brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming.
Good pitch up and in. Fastball. Benintendi could not hold back and ends up first out of the inning here. Good pitch by Pomerantz.
Now Miguel Vargas stands in and fouls away the first pitch. At a play off to the right. 0-1. 4-1 Cubs here with one down in the bottom of the seventh inning. Strikeout by Cubs pitchers are brought to you by your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers. The next pitch is outside. So 1-1 the count. Coombe, the hardest working player of the game, is brought to you by Bosch Power Tools. The more you Bosch, the more you feel like a Bosch. The pitch outside. 2-1. There are a lot of candidates today.
Well, there's no doubt. How about Carson Kelly? He played the game last night in the heat, and then day game after night game, he's still in there. And he's contributed with a walk and a single in today's game, scored a run, and has done an excellent job today. And I think the biggest thing is helping Brownie get through his game, right? You know, and getting Ben Brown, the young starter, back on track. Excellent job today by Kelly.
Ground ball back at third. Backhanded by Shaw. Quick throw to first. It skips past Bush. Bounces off the sidewall. On his way to second base is Vargas.
This will probably be... There's going to be an error, but I don't know if they're going to give Vargas a hit. This ball's down the line. Shaw fields this ball. That's probably going to be an error just on Shaw. If he makes the throw all the way, it's going to be an out. But I think they are going to give now Vargas a hit and then an error with him being able to take second.
And you agree with that? That's probably the right call.
Yeah, you can make a case for that one. That's a very difficult play.
Edgar Caro at the plate looks at a ball up high.
Matty he tried to throw it all the way in the air. If he bounces it 5 feet shorter, it's an out. If he throws it 5 feet further, it's an out. Gave Michael a tough hop.
Pomerantz steals. Caro looks at a strike, a fastball on the inner half, just above the knees. So 1-1 the count. Caro, a switch hitter, batting from the right side against the left-hander Pomerantz, who looks at second, works his motion and deals. Knuckle curve low. So it's 2-1. We're coming to you live all season long for the Invesco QQQ broadcast booth, proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs. 4-1 Cubs here in the seventh. The pitch. Line drive to right. It drops in front of Tucker. Stopping at third base, Vargas. You have to wait to see if that ball would drop, but the Sox now mounting something here in the last of the seventh. They got men at the corners after the single by Caro and Colson Montgomery due up.
And now you got to make a pitch here. Maybe get a ground ball and roll a pair. Montgomery's flown out to center and punched out looking so far in the ballgame.
Left-handed batter. First round pick of the White Sox back in 2021. Native of Southern Indiana. Big guy, 6'3", 230 pounds. Pomerantz looks at first and deals. Foul back by Montgomery. Montgomery was going to play college ball at Indiana. He was an excellent basketball player as well. He was going to play both baseball and basketball there. The pitch, a bouncing ball, foul off to the right. So it's 0-2 on Montgomery. White Sox said, you know what? We like you a lot. Stick to baseball. We'll give you a $3 million signing bonus, and the rest is history. But he was nearly a 2,000-point scorer in basketball in high school. Vargas at third, Caro at first. One down, bottom 7, 4-1 Cubs. Montgomery at the plate with an 0-2 count. Pomerantz delivers. Pop fly. Foul territory off to the left, behind the Sox dugout, out of play. So they'll do it again. Shaw was giving chase. Luis Robert Jr. on deck. Pomerantz peers in, acknowledges the sign from Kelly, straightens up, sets at the belt, looks at first, and deals. Up high, 1-2.
A little high gas from Pomerantz, hoping to get a chase from Montgomery left on left. Did not. This would be a good time for that slider. See if you get a little one-hop ground ball maybe to Nico.
Now the pitch. Pop-up. Left side, foul territory. Shaw in front of the coach's box now drifts into the coach's box and makes the catch. 2 away as Montgomery fouls out.
High breaking ball gets the pop-up, and that'll bring out Craig Counsell. Make a pitching change here in the bottom of the 7th.
With the right-handed hitting Luis Robert Jr. due up. Counsell gets the baseball from the veteran left-hander Pomerantz. Cubs are going to make a pitching change. Cubs pitching changes are sponsored.
The name of the business is Legacy Catering. We all were talking about how Mom taught us all how to cook. She was a cook at the public school system for ages. So we all started cooking with her, so we decided, to do the business, so we went to figure out what we're going to call it. So we said, let's cook in honor of, our mother. So that's what Legacy came in. And just remember that Legacy Catering is about people. And this is what barbecuing is all about. And this is why we love it.
Five-man umpiring crew here today, and this young superstar.
And did their feet get tangled up? Yeah, so Hoppy Tritt, they got their feet tangled up before the ball came down.
That goes helicoptering into the net. It's Kantar.
And that ball is off the ladder. It's actually off the ladder. You never see that.
A little tumble behind the mound, hat fell off. That was awesome. You just don't see that.
Yeah, mine was a tops now as well. I hit my first walk-off last year against the Mets.
Jacob Young, Nationals win. Now he's got his first walk-off big league hit.
Dad had bought a stack of them, and I was like, I think we can get these results. But he's
got a 0.93 ERA in 20 games this season. He's got a lot of big game experience. Won a championship with the Dodgers last year. Won another one with the Red Sox back in 2018. Was banged up to start the year. But he's healthy now and doing a nice job for the Cubs. White Sox have met at the corners here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Cubs with a 4-1 lead, 2 away. Luis Robert Jr. at the plate. Righty-righty matchup, and the pitch is inside for ball 1.
Now the big key, obviously, this is no surprise or secret. He's got to keep the ball in the ballpark. Robert big-time popping his bat.
He's 0 for 2 today. The pitch. Robert swings. Line drive caught by Nico Horner right along the edge of the outfield grass for out number 3. So Brazier does the job, gets the Cubs out of the jam. Sox.
I'm Jonathan Mayo, and for more than 20 years, I've traced the path of baseball's rising stars, navigating the back roads of the national pastime and basking in the glow of small-town America's spirit, where the team is woven into the fabric of everyday life, where it's more than just a game. It's a celebration of the people, the traditions, and the culture that give these places their soul. This is Grassroots.
feel like a boss.
Top of the 8th inning here in the south side of Chicago. Cubs are up. It's been a very good ball game and a great series. But this 8th inning sponsored by Cars for Kids, 877 Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today. Cubs are up 4-1 here at Wright Field, Z, and Cubs could use a few insurance runs here in this inning.
White Sox have a new man on the mound. Right-hander Mike Vassell takes over 4-3 this season with a 2.53 ERA in 27 games. Carson Kelly, capable of adding a run with one swing, steps to the plate. He's 1 for 2 today with a single and a walk. Kelly, a right-handed batter, hits out of a crouch, stands deep in the box, uses a toe tap. Vassell kicks and fires. The first pitch is high and inside for ball 1. Vassell deals. The next pitch is foul back off the screen. One and one the count on Kelly, to be followed by Ian Happ and then Dansby Swanson. Vassell deals. Inside, 2-1. Cubs are in the meat of their order, Coom, presented by Chef IQ Sense. Never under or overcook your food again. Purchase now at chefiq.com. And now the 2-1. Kelly fouls it back again. 2 balls and 2 strikes. A reminder to stay tuned for the toast of the game, presented by Binny's Beverage Depot, coming up with the Coom Dog in the 9th inning. A lot of candidates. Nice start by Ben Brown. Nico Horner's had a big game, so is PCA.
Yeah, been good all-around ball game and a good ball game. 4-1. Both teams have, made some good defensive plays.
Line drive caught by a diving Montgomery along the line as he ends up in foul territory. An excellent athletic play, one away.
Now, we were talking about him last inning, and you talked about his athletic ability. Going to Indiana, possibly going to play 2 sports. He lays out for this ball going down the line. It's going to be a foul ball, but he ends up making a great catch going down the line. Brooks Robinson has been proud of that one.
So 1 down, and the batter is Ian Happ. He looks at a ball low and outside, 1-0. Happ, a switch hitter, batting from the left side against the righty Vassell. And the pitch. Outside again. So 2-0 the count. Ian's 0 for 3. After collecting 2 hits in last night's ball game, including the go-ahead home run. The pitch. Foul back just to the left of us. It ricochets. Where'd it go? I missed the ricochet.
It hit over here and came right back towards us, just out in front of our booth. We still may get a ball before this series is over. There's only a couple innings left.
The 2-1 outside, 3-1 now with Happ at the plate.
It's got to be a left-handed hitter, though.
Well, there's one at the plate right now.
Absolutely.
We've only had 1 foul ball come into any of our booths this season.
That was a ricochet.
Yep, the 3-1 is fouled back by Happ. It's in Philadelphia, and it banged off the railing of some seats just below the broadcast booth in Philadelphia and ricocheted off the wall to your left in the booth. The payoff pitch. Happ swings and fouls it away again. Off to the left, out of play. And that ball in Philadelphia was the first one in 2 years to enter
at least, right?
Our broadcast booth. The payoff pitch is low, ball 4. Happ works a 1-out walk here in the 8th.
Now Cubs are the man on here now with 1 out, and Dansby at the plate. You'd love to get 1 more run. Any kind of insurance run would be great in this situation here in the top of the 8th inning.
4-1 Cubs. Swanson at the plate. Right-handed batter against the right-hander, Vassell. With Happ at first. The pitch inside, backing Swanson off the plate. A belt high, 1-0. Stay tuned for the Verizon Cubs radio postgame show coming up with Matt Spiegel following the festivities here at Wright Field. The finale of this 3-game set. The pitch is up high. 2-0 the count with Swanson at the plate. Cubs head to Milwaukee immediately following today's ball game here on the south side. They'll begin a 3-game set against the Brewers. First place will be on the line in Milwaukee. The 2-0 is inside. 3-0 now on Swanson. What a pitching matchup on tap tomorrow night at American Family Field. A couple of all-stars on the hill. Lefty Matthew Boyd for the Cubs, 11-3 with a 2.20 ERA. Right-hander Jacob Mizorowski for the Brewers. The pitch called strike on the inside corner. 3-1. Mizorowski 4-1 this season with a 2.45 ERA. It's going to be our first look at the right-handed rookie. Now the 3-1. Swanson swings and misses a hefty cut at a fastball.
Dansby with a big swing. Inside fastball about belt high. And just swung through it. He's having a little issue today. That backside kind of collapsing, and when he's swinging, he's just cut underneath the ball going uphill. Kickoff throw does not exist, as there was timeout called before that. Vic Carapazza had given timeout to Dansby Swanson. So that throw does not count with the number of throws to first.
So it's like it never happened. That being held on at first by Vargas. Swanson at the plate with a full count. Vassell on the mound working on the first base side of the rubber. He peers in, acknowledges the sign from Caro, puts the ball in the glove, sets at the belt, fires to first, diving back in safely. Happ.
That one counts.
Yeah. I'm so happy you're here.
Yeah. Thanks. Me too.
Happ goes. The pitch is a called strike 3. 2 away. Swanson's retired. No throw to second. Give Happ a stolen base. That one's number 5 on the year for Happ.
Now, Ian takes off way early, and once the throw is a home, there's not going to be a play at all at second base. He just stands up going into second. Dansby took that breaking ball inside for strike 3.
Nico Horner stands in and looks at a pitch outside. 1-0. That was a sinking fastball from Vassell. Happ at second base with 2 down. Top of the 8th. Cubs with a 4-1 lead over the Sox. Horner is 2 for 3, including an RBI single in the 6th. The pitch, swing and a miss. Big cut by Nico. 1-1. Cubs stolen bases are powered by Atturo Tire, Chicago's hometown tire. Find a dealer at Atturo.com. Nico calls time, steps out of the box, adjusts the batting gloves, now digs in, stands deep in the box, hits out of a crouch, a little bit of an open stance. Happ extends his lead off the second base bag. Vassell sets and delivers. Called strike. Breaking ball at the bottom of the zone. I believe today's attendance here at Wright Field, 38,036. If I heard right. The pitch inside to Horner. So the count now is 2-2. And if that is indeed the attendance, we'll have to double check. That would mean I was a little bit closer than you in the Vinnie's Beverage Depot attendance game. Vassell deals. Foul back off the screen to the right by Nico. Is that an emergency hack by Horner?
100%. Nico was expecting breaking ball and got fastball inside and just dropped the head of the bat down and just hoping to foul the ball off.
Now the 2-2. In the dirt, blocked by Caro, the catcher. And not far enough for Happ to advance. Went up slightly, up along the third baseline. Full count. 4-1 Cubs. 2 down, top of the 8th. Cubs looking for another insurance run with Happ at second base. Horner waits. The 3-2 delivery. Tap foul off to the left.
Nico with a big swing of the bat in this game. That 6th inning single to drive in a run was a huge swing, and then Shaw followed right in behind it with a double down the line to give the Cubs 2 runs in that 6th.
Horner swings and fouls it off the netting to the right.
Cubs could use another big 2-out swing of the bat by Nico.
This next pitch will be number 9 of the plate appearance for Horner. So he's making Vassell work. The 3-2 is low, ball 4. Excellent plate appearance by Horner. He heads to first. Cubs now have 2 on with 2 out, and red-hot Matt Shaw due up.
Now the Cubs, Matty came through with a big swing. He hit the double down the left field line, one hopped the wall. And boy, the Cubs could use another one of those.
Yeah, it was an RBI double for Shaw that scored Horner, and he advanced to third base on an error on the relay throw. Ethan Katz, the White Sox pitching coach, out on the mound to have a conversation with the rookie right-hander Vassell. Catcher Caro part of the conversation, as is the third baseman Montgomery, and now the crew chief Vic Carapazza walks up to the mound to break up the meeting, and Katz has a brief conversation with Carapazza as he heads back to the Sox dugout. What do you think that's about?
Well, the only thing pitching coach hangs out long enough to get the umpire out there, it's balls and strikes.
Yeah. Generally not happy.
Yeah, you questioning a few calls. Big at-bat now for the Cubs. 2 outs, 2 on here in the 8th. Cubs up 4-1. See if Matty come through with a big swing in the bat.
Shaw waits. Here's the pitch by Vassell. Shows bunt and pulls it back. The ball was dropped by the catcher Caro. 1-0 the count, but it didn't go far enough for the runners to advance. Cubs have good speed on the bases with Happ at second and Horner at first.
Yeah, Carroll doing a good job behind home plate. That ball was in the dirt. It was a breaking ball in the dirt that he blocked again.
Shaw waits for the 1-0. Here it comes. Low and outside. Snap throw to first, and now they've got Nico hung up in a rundown between first and second. Sosa chasing a Horner to first. Happ's coming in to score. Now the throw comes home, and Happ's caught in a rundown between third and home. And the ball is loose. Everyone's safe.
Happ's going to get home. Yeah, this is interference by Montgomery. Nico's going to move up a base, I believe. And because of the rundown and confusion with the White Sox, the interference call, and
so the catcher Caro was chasing Happ back to third. He attempted to toss the ball to Montgomery, who was standing right in the baseline as Happ was trying to get back to third base. There was a collision, ball was loose, and they call obstruction on the third baseman Montgomery. So Happ scores. It's now 5-1 Cubs. Horner ends up at second base, and Shaw's at the plate.
Yeah, Cubs get
with
a
a
run.
2-0 count. Yeah, 5-1 Cubs here in the 8th. And they're looking for more with Nico at second base and Shaw at the plate. Wild play. Vassell is ready. Here's the pitch. And that's low for a ball. 3-0. last play got the crowd fired up. Here's the pitch. Called strike. Fastball near the bottom of the zone on the inner half. So it's 3-1. Vassell deals. Shaw takes a strike. That was a fastball, bottom of the zone on the outside edge. Shaw digs in. Here comes the payoff pitch. He swings and fouls it back. Vassell has thrown a lot of pitches here in this 8th inning. 33. Here comes the 3-2. Shaw taps one to third, fielded wide of the bag by Montgomery, running through to first in time to get a hustling Shaw for out number 3. But the Cubs add another run. They've got a 5-1 lead.
To be in, the middle of New York to display a card like this is really such a big part of the Fanatics mission. We think about how do we create new experiences. Now we get the opportunity to put incredible Holy Grail cards in front of tens of thousands, if not millions of new people. It's not just about collectors.
Suit up this season at MLBShop.com. Check out the largest selection of authentic jerseys, caps, hoodies, t-shirts, and more. Visit MLBShop.com for your Chicago Cubs gear and today's special offer. Zach, I've got that play as weird as we've seen. 2-3-4-3-2-5 with an error on the third baseman.
And it led to a run. 5-1 Cubs here in the bottom half of the 8th inning with Lenyn Sosa at the plate. 1-1 the count. Good stuff, Speaks. Thank you so much. Ryan Brazier on the mound for the Cubs. The right-hander works on the first base side of the rubber. Here's the pitch. And a looping line drive caught by Swanson on the edge of the grass in shallow left. One away. The first out brought to you by Xfinity. The Wi-Fi is booming. So here comes Kyle Teal to pinch hit for the White Sox. Teal's one of the guys that the White Sox acquired in the Garrett Crochet trade with Boston in the offseason. He swings and misses at a slider from Brazier, 0-1. Teal, 23 years old, 6 feet, 210 pounds, a native of New Jersey. Played his college ball at Virginia. The pitch is low and inside for a ball, 1-1. Talented man, not just at baseball. He was a high school quarterback. Brazier deals, Teal swings, and it's a fly ball, shallow right center field, racing over Pete Crow Armstrong. Nothing out of his range, makes the catch, 2 away. But Teal also plays the guitar, bass, and the ukulele.
The White Sox are concerned about his baseball play. He's a pretty good catcher. He's one of those young kids that they're counting on to be a very good player here.
Yeah, he was the 14th overall pick in 2023. You know who was one pick before him? The guy playing third for the Cubs today, Matt Shaw's. Mike Tauchman looks at a strike. Fastball that clipped the outside edge. 0-1. 5-1 Cubs here in the 8th inning. Tauchman looks at another called strike, a cutter on the inside edge. Two down here in the 8th. Tauchman calls time, steps out of the box. Right now in Milwaukee, the Marlins and the Brewers tied at 2 in the last of the 8th. pitch low, check swing. Did he go? On appeal, no, says Nick Marley, the third base umpire.
Pretty good slider there, down and in. Great location. And Tauchman barely held up.
There's the pitch. That's low. Another check swing. On appeal, no, says Nick Marley.
Same pitch again, down and in. Slider. Tauchman barely checks the swing again.
Righty-lefty matchup as Brazier works his motion. Tauchman swings, loops one in the shallow left. It drops in for a base hit along the line. 2-out single for Tauchman here in the 8th.
Brazier kept inside to Tauchman. This one jams Mike, but just loops this ball down the left field line, keeps it fair, and a little soft single to left.
So here comes the shortstop, Chase Mydroth, who's 0 for 3 today. Right-handed batter, open stance, hits out of a crouch. Tauchman being held on at first by Bush. The pitch by Brazier is low, 1-0. Cool, we need a catch of the game, sponsored by Catch Des Moines. The Iowa State Fair is back August 7th through the 17th. Come home to Fair Sweet Fair and visit iowastatefair.org. The pitch. Called strike. Slider that spins into the zone. 1-1 on Mydroth. Does anything stand out?
Been a lot of great plays in this game. A lot of the balls, both sides, have been pretty routine plays.
The next pitch pulled. Fair ball down the left field line. This will roll all the way to the wall. Tauchman on his way to third, being held up and cruising into second base with a stand-up double. Chase Mydroth.
This ball stays up in the zone, and Mydroth hooks this ball, hits it sharply right down into that corner. Very short corners here at right field, only 330 down the line. It plays shorter also, and Happer gets that ball in, but now you got some issues. Now one more guy gets on and you bring the tying run to the plate.
Cubs pitching coach Tommy Hotovy on the mound to have a conversation with Brazier. The catcher Carson Kelly along as well. The tough play of the game is sponsored by Loyola Medicine. Loyola Medicine defines tough.
A little scouting report now. I'm Benintendi. And it's kind of what you want with the base open also.
2 down, men at second and third. Cubs up 5-1 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. You mentioned Benintendi, a left-handed hitter. Right-handed hitting Miguel Vargas is on deck. Benintendi is 1 for 3 today with a solo shot in the first off Ben Brown. The pitch. Low. Tauchman at third, Mydroth at second.
That's Daniel Palencia warming up in the Cubs bullpen.
Here's the 1-0. Called strike. Top of the zone, right along the outside edge. Backdoor slider from Brazier. Now the 1-1. And a high fly ball hit to deep right field. Tucker back at the track near the wall. He looks up. It's gone. Andrew Benintendi with a 3-run home run. And the White Sox move to within 1. Benintendi's second home run of the afternoon. It's now 5-4. Cubs over the White Sox here in the 8th.
Now, we talked about it every day here in this series, how much the ball really carries, and that's a high fly ball. And Tuck gets back to the right field wall in plenty of time and just kind of runs out of room. And this fly ball just lands in the Cubs bullpen, and now we got a ball game here at 5-4. Kelly making this long, slow walk to the mound just to give a little time. I think Craig Counsell wanted to make sure that Palencia was warm in the pen, and he got the thumbs up. And that'll bring out Counsell.
Counsell now walking up. the mound, makes the sign to the bullpen, and pitching change is official. Pitching changes by the Cubs are sponsored by James Hardy Building Products, siding with the Cubs. Brazier lead.
Getting traded to Boston from Chicago. You see here the traditional jersey. I love a road jersey because it says where you're from, and this is simple, clean, and cool. And then you see this patch right here. This is from the 2013 postseason run, which was unlike anything I had ever been a part of. To punch through and hoist that trophy. Boston strong forever, baby.
Well, this is the World Series card. Everybody said, you know, what's it going to be to pitch against Sandy Koufax, who's a dominant pitcher. I said, I hope I don't embarrass myself. And I didn't. You know, pitched my first shutout ever. We won 6-0, and my parents were there. My mom was afraid of heights, so she was in the upper deck. She had to come down and trade seats with somebody so that she could actually watch her 20-year-old son pitch a shutout in the World Series.
Up. Cubs with a 5-4 lead over the Sox. It was 5-1 entering this frame. But moments ago, Andrew Benintendi clubbing a 3-run home run off Ryan Brazier to get the Sox to within 1. So Palencia comes in. It's been lights out for the Cubs this season. 35 games, a 1.49 ERA. He's got 13 saves and 14 save opportunities. Vargas digs in. Palencia is ready. Sets at the belt. The kick and pitch. Strike one called. Slider that spun into the zone. Right along the top. Palencia is ready. The next pitch is low and outside. Another slider. 1-1.
Back-to-back sliders from Palencia to start this inning, or this hitter with Vargas coming into the game for Palencia. He's throwing 100 miles an hour.
A long set, the 1-1. Vargas pops it foul out of play off to the right. 1-2. He went with the fastball there.
So a couple breaking balls. Make sure Vargas isn't cheating on that fastball, and he comes with the heater.
Do you double up on the fastball here?
Sure could.
Palencia deals. A swing and a miss. Strike 3. Went with the slider there to get Vargas. And that ends the 8th inning. But the White Sox move a step closer after the 3-run.
Do you see yourself maybe one day after baseball, like maybe food critic, food writer?
I would love to do that. That's the plan. I've been doing it ever since I was in the big leagues. It's just fun. It's fun to interact with people like the fans, because a lot of my followers are baseball fans. So it's nice.
LLOPY at villageofbedfordpark.com.
Getting set for the top of the ninth here on the south side. It's the Cubs with a 5-4 lead over the White Sox. The Sox have a new man on the mound, left-hander Brandon Eisert now pitching. 2-2 with a 4.67 ERA in 45 games this season. Pitching changes by Cubs opponents are sponsored by Sloan, official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs and leader in smart water and commercial restroom solutions. Visit sloan.com. Michael Busch at the plate to lead off the ninth for the Cubs. Eisert delivers, and Busch looks at a ball low and outside. There's a new center fielder in the game for the White Sox. Michael A. Taylor is out there. Busch is 0 for 4 today. Eisert kicks and fires. Busch swings and misses, 1-1. Eisert works on the extreme first base side of the rubber. The left-hander works his motion and deals. And Busch swings and misses at a slider, 1-2.
Pretty good slider. Michael tried to pull that slider away. Just came off it a little bit. See if he can dial back in here a little bit. Maybe use left center field with another one of these sliders.
A pitch. Outside. 2-2. Eisert's ready. Sets at the belt. The 2-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Fooled him with a changeup. Busch retired. 1 away.
A bunch of off-speed pitches to Michael in that at bat. Yeah, and just kind of coming off some of those pitches. A few of them today. And now Tuck, who walked in his last at bat, got knocked down after went to 0-2. See if Tuck was a little heated after that at bat. If he can do a little damage here.
First pitch low to Tucker from Eisert. 1-0. Lefty-lefty matchup. As Tucker waits, Eisert deals. That one's low again. 2-0. Eisert peers in, acknowledges the sign from Caro. He straightens up, works his motion and deals. Another pitch low. So it's 3-0. Tucker's ready. He waits for the pitch. Here it comes. Called strike. Bottom of the zone. That was a fastball from Eisert. Cubs up 5-4. One down, top of the ninth. The finale of this 3-game set between the Cubs and Sox. The pitch. Outside, ball 4. 1 out walk for Tucker and the Cubs here in the top of the ninth.
Another good at bat for Tuck. Just never did chase anything down or down and away. Now this should be a good matchup for Suzuki. If he just stay on some of these off-speed pitches, he should get something good to hit. See if he can launch one here and give the Cubs a little insurance going into the bottom of the ninth.
Suzuki has 26 home runs this season. The pitch. He swings and pops it foul. Out of play. 0-1 the count on Seiya. Walked in the first and scored a run. And then caught looking his next 3 times up. So he's 0 for 3. Powerful right-handed batter against the left-hander Eisert, who works his motion and deals. Seiya swings, ground ball hit to short, fielded by Modroff to second for 1. Sosa to first, and that's in time. Double play. It ends the top half of the 9th inning. As our good friend Pat would...
School days are here.
What is back to school a days, you ask? We're talking 7 days of deals on looks and styles the kids will love at prices you'll love even more. Because back to school at Target means getting all of the above. Through August 2nd, save 25% on select kids' clothes with additional savings to round out their looks, including uniforms.
I was so inspired by what you were making that I want to do my own all-star ballpark bite, but I'm thinking we take some of that brisket that you make, and I'm going to do like a little slider. Got the pepper jack cheese, some American, get it going with some of the barbecue sauce that you have, that spicy, delicious one, and then caramelized onions. Make like a little sandwich. We cool?
Sound like a plan.
I think we did good.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chef.
Yeah, mine was a tops now as well. I hit my first walk-off last year against the Mets.
Jacob Young, Nationals win. Now he's got his first walk-off big league hit.
Dad had bought a stack of them, and I was like, I think we can get these results, but he went ahead and bought a stack for himself.
Like business cards. There you go.
But it was awesome just to have that moment and have everyone so excited to have a picture of you is a fun moment.
Ball player, presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. Binny's is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs. Binny's, if you can't find it at Binny's, it's probably not worth drinking.
Well, you got some candidates, that's for sure. Nico Horner with a couple hits, a big RBI hit in the 6th. And then Shaw, he did the same thing with an RBI double in the 6th. But I think at the end of the day, Ben Brown, he was the guy that, you came in here and Cubs needed another good performance, and they got it from Brownie. He threw 5 innings. I thought him and Kelly did a great job together in certain counts when they needed to maybe pitch a little backwards or a little, do something a little different. Kelly was able to do that and get Brownie to throw some strikes, and I just thought he did a very nice job today. So Ben Brown will be our Benny's Toast to the Game ball player.
Good call. Cubs with 5 runs on 7 hits, 1 error. The White Sox 4 runs, 8 hits, 3 errors. Brownie the winner, now 5-7. The loser, Grant Taylor, falls to 0-2. The save for Daniel Palencia, his 14th. A ball game that took 2 hours and 48 minutes, played in front of 38,036 fans today here at Rate Field on the south side. Milwaukee, a 3-2 winner over Miami at American Family Field. So the Cubs remain tied for first with the Brewers heading into that first-place showdown in Milwaukee tomorrow night. Matthew Boyd and Jacob Mizorowski, the mound matchup.
Yeah, it could be a good, you got a veteran pitcher who's having a phenomenal year and, a young guy who's just been in the league for a real short time, but a very good arm and has been pretty dynamic for Milwaukee so far. So look forward to that. It's going to be a fiery and, series in Milwaukee. The fans are going to be into it. So look forward to tomorrow night.
Man, can't wait. See you in Milwaukee, Coom. Our coverage begins with a pregame show tomorrow night at 6:05. First pitch with Pat and Ron coming your way at 6:40 from American Family Field tomorrow evening. Boyd and Mizorowski, the matchup. Before we say goodbye from Rate Field on the south side, I want to thank our engineer, Rich White, for helping us blast through the speakers of your radio as well as all of your smart devices. A reminder to stay tuned for the postgame show, which follows immediately with Matt Spiegel Speaks. Thanks for your help today. For Ron Coomer, I'm Zach Zaidman saying thanks so much for listening to Cubs Baseball. The Cubs a 5-4 winner over the Sox today. This is The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
This Odyssey Sports broadcast has been brought to you by Geico. Switch and save. Get more with Geico. Chicago Cubs baseball on WSCR 670 The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network has been presented to you in part by Benny's Beverage Depot, Nissan, Benjamin Moore, Hefty Trash Bags, Arturo Tire, James Hardy Building Products, Volvo, Roofers and Waterproofers Joint Apprenticeship Program, Joel Got Wine, Sloan, Xfinity, It's Not a Game, Illinois.com, your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Hyundai dealers, and Yingling, the oldest brewery in America.
Cubs Talk, middays 10 to 2 with Rahimi and Harris on The Score, the official radio home of the Cubs.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at Xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6986. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6986. That's 800-575-6986. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Lowe's knows big savings make a big difference, especially when you're shopping for appliances. Hurry in to get up to 30% off select major appliances. Plus, My Lowe's Rewards members get free delivery, free haul away, free installation and parts on purchases of $2,500 or more. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 7/30. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Price, delivery time, and vehicle availability may vary based on order size and location. Exclusions apply. See Lowe's.com/delivery for more details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-889-5566. That's 800-889-5566.
Now it's time for the Verizon Cubs radio postgame show on 670 The Score and the Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network. Sponsored in part by Cars for Kids, the Village of New Lenox, Plumbers 911, and by TimberTech Decking and Railing. And now your host, Zach Zaidman.
It is me, Matt Spiegel, in for Zach Zaidman. Zach had your call in for Pat Hughes of a thrilling 5-4 Cubs win to close out the White Sox and the Crosstown Series today. The Cubs now in 152 Crosstown games, have won 77 of them. The White Sox have won 75. The Cubs now 39-37 on the road here on the south side. Up at Wrigley, both teams have won an even 38. Just crazy. This one was fun. A lot of intensity, in my opinion, from a guy who watches these teams a lot, especially the Cubs. Nico Horner pumped and intense all game long. Kyle Tucker with a bat toss after a walk against Alexander in the sixth. That's not something we see very often. And Daniel Palencia with the first 4-out save of his career. The official game time on this one is brought to you by Huntington. Let's get more from money. Switch to Huntington Bank now at huntington.com. 2 hours and 48 minutes is the game time in this one. 5 runs on 7 hits with 1 error for the Cubs. 4 runs on 8 hits with 3 errors, and they were costly for the White Sox. Ben Brown is your winner. He goes to 5-7 on the year. He was terrific and one of the stories of the day. Grant Taylor, the opener, gave up 2 runs, and the Cubs, in terms of the lead, never looked back from that point. And as I mentioned, Daniel Palencia with the 4-out save. Palencia, one of the great stories of this Cubs season, and he's been terrific. Had not pitched since Tuesday night when he finished the 6-0 game against Kansas City. Before that, hadn't pitched since the first game after the break when he got a save against the Red Sox on Friday afternoon. In this one, he was terrific. A strikeout of Miguel Vargas to end the 8th, and then got the Sox 3 down on 4 up in the 9th inning of that one. He did hit Luis Robert with a pitch. As we look at who's on a roll in this one, and who's on a roll is sponsored by Circa Resort and Casino. Get ready for the time of your life, circalasvegas.com. Matt Shaw continues now a hit streak that has reached 9 games, the big RBI double in this one. He's now 12 for 27 since the break with 10 RBIs. We also could have said Pete Crow Armstrong, who after a double in his final at-bat last night had 2 more doubles in his first 2 at-bats, and this one 3 straight doubles with last night and today in focus. We're just getting rolling on the post-game show. You'll hear from Craig Counsell. You'll hear the highlights and much, much more. It speaks with you on a post-game for the Cubs-Sox Crosstown Series. The Cubs win the finale. They go 5-1 on the year in this series. As that realm of interleague play is done, Cubs in Milwaukee starting tomorrow night for a big, big series with the Brewers, who remain tied for the lead in the National League Central and the best record in the National League. Incredible. We'll be back with much, much more on The Score and the Cubs, Southwest Airlines Cubs Radio Network.
Hey Chicago, this is Michael Bush. Pat and Ron call every game here on the Chicago Cubs Radio Network.
Want to rethink what's possible? How about being an investor? Not just in your future, but in the future. Well, it all starts with Invesco QQQ. For more than 25 years, this single ETF has given investors a direct line to the NASDAQ 100. That's 100 leading innovators behind advances in personal tech, science, and robotics, just to name a few. And you can access it all with Invesco QQQ. Let's rethink possibility. Invesco QQQ is the proud ETF partner of the Chicago Cubs.
There are risks when investing in ETFs, including possible loss of money. ETFs' risks are similar to those of stocks. Investments in the tech sector are subject to greater risk and more volatility than more diversified investments. The NASDAQ 100 Index comprises the 100 largest non-financial companies on the NASDAQ. You can't invest directly into an index. Before investing, consider the fund's investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses. Visit Invesco.com for a prospectus containing this information. Read it carefully before investing. Invesco is not affiliated with the Chicago Cubs. Invesco Distributors, Inc.
As the official water efficiency partner of the Chicago Cubs, Sloan has greeted fans with sustainable restroom products at Wrigley Field for 111 years. And now Sloan is excited to introduce new innovation to Cubs fans throughout the concourse with its brand new bottle fillers to provide clean drinking water while reducing plastic waste throughout the friendly confines. Learn more at Sloan.com and go Cubs go!
Do Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keep coming back? Tremfya, guselkumab, may help, with rapid remission achieved at 12 weeks and lasting clinical remission at 1 year. Some even saw visible improvement of their intestinal lining at 12 weeks and 1 year. Tremfya is a prescription.
To see all this excitement around what I love to do growing up, it's crazy.
What's your favorite thing about this whole event so far?
The fusion of sports, entertainment, and cards.
That's awesome.
Because to me, cards have always been entertainment, and they're getting their just dessert now.